I always wonder what Baba Booey does during the show. So John comes in and tells me, tell Robin what you told me.
I overheard Gary on the phone ordering a new water pick.
That's such a big part of his life, that water pick thing. He has such big teeth and gums, and all he needs is a toothbrush. Yeah, how many water picks does that guy go through?
I overheard him saying that this is like...
I think it's once a week.
Yeah, he's had one for a couple of months, and now that one's broken down on him.
Wow.
But could you blame the thing after working on that, piece of work?
John says that when when we went on our last road trip, he walked into Gary's bathroom, in the hotel. He said it was like a chemistry lab in there.
Yeah, it was laboratory. Water picks, dental floss, special toothpaste, baking soda. It was unbelievable.
It takes a lot to keep that going.
I think he brings 2 suitcases, and one is just for his teeth.
Dr. Frankenstein. It was unbelievable.
Dr. Toothenstein.
Dr. Toothenstein. And you know what? It's not working, all of that. He doesn't basically know how to brush his teeth. You have to put the bristles on part of the tooth and part of the gum and just massage them. Go around in a circle. Baba Booenstein doesn't even understand what he's doing. He doesn't even know you don't need a water pick. And what does a water pick do? A water pick is the biggest waste of money. You do not need a water pick. I had horrible gums. The dentist said to me, you don't know how to brush your teeth. You show me with the thing, you just massage. You sit there, you watch TV, right? I watch TV at night. During Entertainment Tonight, I sit there while John Tesh is on. And I rub my gums and I go all the way around. And the water pick is just a fire hose for you.
Oh, John, hear me ordering a new water pick?
Yeah. I mean, you say, how many do you order a year? 3?
The one I have just broke. You are such a dick.
It's like
blackhead.
You know what it's like? It's like hosing down a sidewalk with that water pick.
The current one I got was defective.
And what does it do? It blows the food out between your caps?
No. You stick the little thing under your gums, and it's a water and peroxide solution.
Yeah.
And it goes under your gums, and it
under your gums.
Under your gums.
How do you get
then why do you have to floss?
That's to go between your teeth. You don't floss under your gums. You don't go in
How do you go
way
under your gums.
I don't know what he's doing.
How do you
wondering.
It's a little thing that goes in. You've water picked before.
Never would I. My teeth are great. You know what? And your gums are so raw and red and smelly that it's so ridiculous.
They are not raw, red, or smelly. What do I have, a hamburger in my mouth?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, you're gonna die, Joe.
So how come they break down? I don't understand. Like, how long do you use?
No. I usually. This is.
You have to wet
how
your
long
teeth
do
down.
they last you?
What is it? Well, tell me the routine. You wet down your teeth first.
No.
2 teeth they last.
This is exactly what I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you the routine. Okay, I go into the bathroom at night.
Yeah.
I floss.
Right.
Okay.
How long does that take?
A couple seconds. However long it takes.
Right.
I floss.
And what is yours? A 110 volt or 220? Your water pick.
220, 230, whatever.
Or do you have it hooked to a car battery?
Right. That's it. Then I have a little shot glass.
Right.
In the shot glass, I go underneath and I take a little baking soda. Right.
Yeah.
Wait a second. You want to know?
This is unbelievable.
I take a little baking soda, I put it in the shot glass. Then I have an eyedropper.
Right.
I take peroxide and I drop it into the baking soda so that I make it like a sort of a creamy mixture.
Okay.
Then I brush my teeth with that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I rinse.
That's how we can't even talk over those caps.
Then I rinse. Then I take...
It's a Baba Booey cocktail. 2 parts peroxide, 3 parts baking soda.
Then I put 5 ounces of peroxide in the water pick, and I mix it with lukewarm water.
How could you need all this peroxide?
And then I water pick. You should see me. I go to Rock Bottom. I buy it like by the gallon.
Can I just make a suggestion to you? And I know that your dentist is the be-all and end-all, as you say.
He's good.
He's got to be a rich man.
I suggest to you that you absolutely...
But there's nothing wrong.
I suggest to you that you absolutely do not know how to brush your teeth properly. And that anyone who buys a water pick for maintenance, as you say, is a complete waste of time. All of these rotating brushes,
No, it's not a rotating toothbrush.
Do you have an electric toothbrush?
No, it's not a rotating toothbrush.
I mean, there's simple way to clean one teeth. You don't even need toothpaste.
But you don't know. You're not a dentist.
I do know.
Why don't you call your dentist?
Okay, fine.
And ask him if a water pick is recommended.
All right, get Dr. Matthew Kaufman on the phone, and then come in here and get him on the phone.
All right, just write down what town it's in.
Can you just rinse? And then wouldn't that same concept?
No, because how would you get the plaque out from underneath your teeth? There's a lot of junky products out there, but water pick is a commonly used product.
Right. I want you to talk to a real dentist.
You definitely need all of this stuff. I mean, because you don't spend that much time on your teeth, do you, Howard?
Listen, let me tell you what I do.
Some people have.
I don't even need toothpaste, and I have the sweetest smelling breath a woman could ever smell. Come here, Robin. I'll kiss you. You'll be in heaven. I'm going to tell you what it is. He just stormed out. I sit there with a toothbrush at night. I brush in the morning just to get the smell out. You know what I mean? Just to make it fresh and dainty.
Sure, you use a little toothpaste then.
But at night is when I do my brushing. I sit in front of the TV. I just wet the toothbrush down for a second. I sit there with the toothbrush and I just massage the gums and the teeth. And the teeth feel like you just had a teeth cleaning.
Yes.
That's how clean they get.
Yes.
And that's it. I never get a cavity. I don't get anything.
You don't floss?
Don't need it. It all pops right out.
Wow.
I don't even need to floss. I floss sometimes just for the hell of it. If I eat corn or something weird like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, you don't need all of this.
But you don't have little bottles of peroxide under your thing?
No. And I went to dentists for years because I had bad gums. They used to say to me, you need peroxide, you should brush with if you're not doing it correctly, as silly as it sounds, most people do not know how to brush their teeth. Let me take a break here. We'll get back to news and maybe the good Dr. Kaufman.
Get Dr. Kaufman on the phone.
Who can finally straighten out Baba Fohi.
Because that's a major undertaking he's going through in that
I can't believe that
every night.
Tomorrow we should have Gary come in and do his ritual in front of us. Or maybe for New Year's Eve for the big pay-per-view.
There you go.
All right. Well, I'm not talking about that yet. We shouldn't unveil that yet. That's not a definite deal yet.
A word stirred.
Gary's called my dentist and he's in with a patient and he will not come to the phone.
Oh.
Shows you already my dentist is more happening than any dentist because he wouldn't even come on the air for free airtime. Most dentists would guy bleeding in a chair. They would run.
Forget it.
I still
admire that.
I question that. He should come on.
He doesn't need the business.
True. He's got you.
He's got me.
He's paying for everything. Right?
But the point is, I just would like to make a small point here. It's not. It's what else?
Right.
It's not ridiculous for somebody to use a water pick.
No, you use a lot of. I mean,
I use
you
a
mix
water
peroxide
pick.
and water and flossing
I have to stay on top
and water
of it.
pick, and then you toothbrush and then you electric toothbrush.
Let me tell you something. My teeth are very healthy. It's my gums, not good looking.
Gary.
Not good looking, but healthy. But my gums, I have to stay on top of it. That's all.
Yeah, but
if I stay on top of it,
stay on top of it without a water pick doesn't do anything for your gums. Nothing.
It massages them.
No, it doesn't.
And it gets the dirt out from underneath them.
What is all this dirt?
Yeah, what is going on under your gums?
And what is he talking about from underneath his gums? Can you flip your gums up?
No.
When you say under your gums, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't understand.
You never go to the dentist
I just went to the bathroom to look at my teeth after listening.
I know. I mean, Gary's got something going on in his mouth that no human being has.
I wish I could get someone. I wish I could get like my dentist to explain it to you. Like they did a thing. I was at the dentist yesterday.
Yeah. Again?
I go quarterly.
Oh, jeez.
Quarterly. Every 3 months.
And your water
Every 15 minutes.
And your water pick keeps breaking? I mean, do you use it that much?
It just the one I got recently broke.
Right.
It doesn't keep breaking.
This is like the third water pick.
How many water picks have you had?
I have had in 5 years or 6 years. There's going to be maybe even 6 years. I have had
4 water picks.
4 or 5 water picks.
Oh my God!
But use it every day and every night. Use it twice a day.
Well, why should it break?
Because you use it a lot. How many blow dryers? Wait. How many blow dryers have you had in the last 5 years?
In the last 5 years? One. I have one black blow dryer, and I bought one for work. I mean, I don't.
It doesn't break down after a while.
No,
they're not well made.
Of course not. But I don't know what you're doing to your water pick.
I'm using it.
God.
And I travel with it too. Sometimes it gets messed up in the.
And why would you compare a water pick to a blow dryer?
Because it's a
What, do
house.
you blow dry your teeth?
There is a dentist on hold, not your dentist.
Yeah, but I don't know who he is.
Yeah, we don't.
A lot of dentists don't know what they're doing.
Word for
A lot of dentists don't know anything.
But let's just see what he has to say about the
Oh
water.
yeah.
All right, let's get him on.
Let's
I
just
think
take
Gary washes his car with his water pick. I mean, that's why
It does come with an attachment.
It does it?
Yeah.
I mean, he must be using it for more than just his teeth.
Yeah, maybe he's washing the walls.
Steaming wallpaper with it.
My gums have gotten a lot better.
What?
My gums have
My
gotten a
dentist
lot
never
better.
told me to had to water.
But you don't have problems with your gums.
Eat an apple and brush every once in a while.
Every once in a while, John, please.
Sean, please.
No, after every meal.
Yeah, bathe after every day.
So does your wife see this
I bathe,
event?
man.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. Lucky her.
She's a
She
little,
saw this before she married
She's
you?
perplexed.
No. Gary told me that. No, Gary told me that that they needed separate bathrooms. Him and his wife tell him.
Because I get up early in the morning. I don't want to wake her up.
Yeah, well, you're running a current through there. You're running a water pick through there. It's loud. Hello?
Yes, hi, how are you?
You are a dentist?
Yes, you are right.
Of course you don't need any of that nonsense.
Where'd you get your degree from?
Temple University.
It's a pretty good school, Baba Fohi.
I don't believe he's a
You're
dentist.
an Adelphi he's a dentist.
Howard, you're absolutely right.
What do 4 out of 5 dentists recommend?
A water pick is basically good under a bridge or if you have a periodontal condition.
Well, I do.
Right.
I have a, that's
Proper
I have a
brushing is-
periodontal
But he did proper brushing on his gums. I know everything about
Wait a minute.
teeth.
I have
What
a
is a-
periodontal condition.
What is that condition?
What is your condition called?
Periodontitis.
Periodontitis?
And it never is cured after 6 years.
When are you going to be
I got
cured?
like a disease from the Flintstones.
I guarantee you're not doing the right thing with your gums. I guarantee you.
You know everything.
Yep. I don't know everything,
You
but
do.
I know about your gums. Am I right, Doctor?
You're absolutely right, Howard. Flossing is better than a water pick.
Well, I floss also.
He does everything, and he still has these
Still
raw,
has these things.
smelly
And
gums.
and you know what? I Stimudent as well. Is that good, Doctor?
Yeah, and then he's got like a Stimudent.
What's that?
That's those wooden sticks that Gary buys, and he sits there and he massages his gum with them.
Is that good, Doctor?
A Stimudent can work, but there's
Yeah, but
no
you don't need
substitute
it.
for proper brushing.
You just have to do
It's still
proper
number one.
brushing, but you don't understand the concept of proper brushing. Trust me, why do you have to fight me on this?
Because you're not a dentist.
You're not getting any. It doesn't matter. I had the same problems with gums, and I learned about it. You know what? What do I care? Why don't you hire 4 midgets to wash your mouth out for a half hour every night? Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
All right. I told you don't need all of that.
No, so how do you brush?
All right. Now you're ready to learn.
No, I'm doing what you want.
Okay. Every night when you're laying in bed there next to Mary,
Right.
and you're sitting there watching TV, when you're watching your cartoons, you sit there,
Ted Turner's Cartoon Network.
and you sit there, and your bristles have to go on the gum and on the white of the tooth. In other words, in between. And you sit there and you go around in a circle like this. You see how I start here? And you go down here, and you go here, and you go all the way around your mouth.
You're leaving something out.
Yeah.
What kind of a toothbrush do you use?
You could get a caveman's toothbrush. It doesn't make a difference. But I happen to use this Oral B.
Oral B.
Oral B.
That's what I use. And now,
Well, you know everything about toothbrushes.
I know
and
everything about
It's unbelievable. I'll use Oral B. So, and
Do you
I
use
use
the
the one-
hard bristles or the soft bristles?
I use a
the medium.
medium. Now, listen.
and I get the
Good.
I use the indicator.
Now you got to figure out. You don't need an indicator. I'm going to indicate something to you right now.
What's an indicator?
Gary probably has oral A through Z because he's like every toothbrush known to man.
I use 35 medium. If you need to know the exact.
Okay. Well, no one's going to take whatever you use is not an endorsement.
No, just telling you. But now when you do
And when
this,
you start it-
wait a second, this is
And
you take
need
your toothbrush dry.
Right.
This
You
dry,
don't,
just take it
you
out of
don't
the
even
rack.
need toothpaste. You
Right.
don't need anything.
You don't wet it or anything.
Nothing. If you want to wet it if that's what turns you on. In fact, you can do the right side. Mary can do the left side. You'll be done by 2 in the morning. You started around 7 o'clock. Or use a garage broom. What's the difference?
Let her do it while you sleep.
A rake.
Yes, you can just lift up your teeth like, you know when they put a dog to sleep? Lift up the... and let her rub.
Just like old times.
Yeah. Where's the camera crew right now? Anyway, so that's my point.
But so you just do circles around
Circles,
the
yeah, but you got to do a nice job. You really got to get
How
in
long
there.
would you say the whole process would take?
15, 10 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. But in your case, maybe an hour. I mean, because you got huge
At
teeth.
first.
Yeah, at first. And then you should be down to 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then that kind of stimulation, and you'll feel your teeth will be as clean as when you go get your teeth cleaned by the dentist. That's how clean they'll be. It's nothing to do with brushing the tooth. Or in your case, the plaster.
That's porcelain.
Porcelain.
Bless.
Get a toilet in
All
my
right,
mouth.
thank you. I have to get on with the news. We just learned about the mayor's race. You should get like...
Took a shot at John.
Gary just was walking out. He stopped short. John ran into him, and then Gary kicked him in the nuts. That was funny. It's always fun to talk about Gary's teeth. Never gets old. Never.
Yeah, we ought to encourage him to stop all that stuff.
And it's the same conversation every time. He refuses to listen to me because I'm not a dentist. And then a real dentist always calls in,
and
and
says, you're absolutely right.
and Gary still doesn't accept it. He refutes it. He'll keep ordering water picks.
and Stimudent.
And Stimudents and all kinds of things. And meanwhile, my teeth are in great shape. His are not.
Gallon jugs of peroxide. I've never heard of anybody shooting that much peroxide into their mouth. Isn't that poison?
I don't know. And I'm sure he must drink some of it. No wonder he's so thick-witted. Anyway, Robin, you were
Oh,
saying.
yes. Let's get back to something sane.
Surprised he's not a blonde with all the peroxide he drinks.
Jackie just goes from party to party.
That's his life.
Why not? Saturday night, September 18th, one big show at the Agora Theater in Cleveland, Ohio. It's not sold out. Seats still available. Yeah, Gina's going to be there, guys. See the woman who wrecked my marriage. Don't miss Boy Gary, 10 a.m. to noon. All right, don't miss Boy Gary. tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon at Globe Western Boot Shop on Route 17 North in Paramus, New Jersey. And this Thursday night from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. at the Bobby Knapp Giants Stadium Ski Show at Giants Stadium. And to get on Stuttering John's mailing list, call 609-546-STUPID.
All right, so who are we hearing first? Dwight Gooden?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And this is, you don't really get a question to him?
Yeah, I asked him the question. He laughs, and he was like cool about it. But the security people just, you know, as soon as they see the question, hear the question, then they want me out.
All right, Dwight Gooden, the Mets pitcher.
Dwight, can I ask you a question?
I don't have time right now. I got to.
Did you ever fought in the dugout, Dwight? No. Come on. Howard Stern, Dwight. Oh, yeah, come on. Dwight, you want to talk to Howard Stern? Come on. All right. Chill out. It's not a gun. Don't put your hands on me.
It's not a gun. You want to talk to Howard Stein? He doesn't even know the name. He doesn't even know my name. He gets all flustered.
Well, there's four guys.
Yeah.
It's not
And what are they doing? They're roughing you up?
Yeah, they just like drag
Yeah,
me out.
like you know, you have a microphone. You know, that's a good point.
I know, but they really they get freaked out. You know why? Because I got somebody else there. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think they just got pissed that I was able to get him. So
I don't know. These sports guys take themselves way too seriously.
Yeah, they have no sense of humor.
Well, Doc laughed at the question when I said you ever fought in the dugout. He like laughed.
Of course, he's a guy. We know Dwight Gooden's past. I mean, this is not a high level guy. This is a lowbrow. You're not dealing with a bright guy.
You know, but another thing is this is right after he got suspended too. So he didn't want to talk to anybody, any press. So.
He got suspended for what?
You remember what? I think he got into a fight with the umpire.
Oh, he hit Was it when he hit that guy with the pitch?
And it was right the following day, right after that. So
I see.
Maybe he's a little upset.
Yeah. You didn't even want to ask about that.
No.
But they always protect these guys. They don't want them getting near a microphone.
You have a fart in the dugout. What kind of question is that? All right, what is the next guy?
Next is Phil Simms.
All right, Phil Simms, the Giants quarterback. Here we go.
Hey, Phil, can I ask you a question?
Stuttering John. Yeah, what do you want to ask me? Go ahead, John.
Do people confuse you more with Ed Begley Jr. or Johnny Winter?
Because Phil Simms is the whitest white man, isn't he?
Yeah.
When I was growing up, it used to be Johnny Winter because I had longer hair. But Ed Begley Jr., no, he's got no muscle on him.
If you and Lennon Marshall crashed on a desert island, who would be the woman and who would be the man?
I don't know. I can't think of an answer for that, but you'd definitely be the woman. Go ahead.
The guy who snapped you the ball ever fought in your face?
No, I don't stick my face down there, John. I stick my hands down there. You don't watch much football.
He seems like a pretty good sport.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's totally cool.
Yeah, he's a football player. Football players love stuff like this.
Yeah. Something about baseball players, I guess, you know.
There you go.
Breath in the huddle.
Wait a second, I missed that. I shouldn't have stopped the tape.
You're on the wrong tape, man. You the ball ever
I don't know where we are.
fought in your face?
No, I don't stick my face down there, John. I stick my hands down there. You don't watch much football.
Who has the worst breath in the huddle?
Who has the worst breath?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Probably me.
Do you have a bet on the game?
Hey, guys. Do I ever bet? No, I don't bet on the games. Come on, John. You can do better than this.
Did you ever get hate mail from Jeff Hostetler?
No, I read it in the paper when he has hate. He tells the hate things in the paper. Go ahead.
All right, were you ever molested as a child?
No, I wasn't good enough looking to get molested as a child.
Why don't Orientals play football? Is the NFL anti-Chinese?
I don't know.
So he's too good a sport.
Yeah, he's totally clued in.
Yeah, he's totally hanging.
It's just John reading off dopey questions and him going, I don't know.
One I can answer better. Go ahead.
Can you think of one Jewish quarterback?
One Jewish quarterback. Yeah, Gary Wishard was. Yeah. Did he ever make it?
He got signed by the Colts, Baltimore Colts.
There you go.
Because you're so rich, do you give a crap about national health insurance?
Hey, I'm not near as rich as Howard, that's for sure. And from what I understand, is Robin either.
Do you think Oswald acted alone?
Who?
Oswald.
I'm not smart enough. I don't know history.
At Giant Stadium, do you ever think you smelled half his body?
I smell something over there. I don't know what it is, though.
They must have armed you with a lot of questions that day. Yeah.
A lot of gay football players?
Tons of them. Lots of them. Makes it a lot of fun.
What do you think of Howard Stern?
I love him. See you, John.
All right, man. Thanks
All
a lot.
right, thank you. Tell Robin I said hi.
How do you know Robin?
I met her in,
Wait a second. Wait a second. Well, what's this?
Gary one night during the strike in 1987 at a party. Keith Hernandez is having it. And as soon as I saw him, I said, don't talk to me. I don't want to be on the radio. Don't be. So it was good. Nice lady.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
I'll see you, man. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
Nice lady. What?
Sounds like he dug her.
Yeah, nice lady.
I didn't know.
You didn't realize you made such an impression. That was pretty good, but, you know.
Yeah, he was a fan.
Yeah, it's almost funnier when they hate you.
When they don't know anything and they think he's a real reporter.
Like when Walter Cronkite yells at John.
That's a dumb question.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with journalism today.
Well, for God's sake.
We have an angry listener on the phone.
What's he angry about?
It's a woman.
Yeah.
One of our female listeners from Dallas.
Yeah.
A letter carrier.
Yeah.
Very angry about comments you made about letter carriers and muscular dystrophy telethon.
Oh, yeah?
They raise a lot of money.
Yeah,
so they work really hard.
That's right. I remember. They're always well represented.
Yeah. She's got a whole speech. Hello?
Mr. Stern?
Yes.
My name is Danielle Lambert.
Well, I don't need your name.
I've been with the letter carriers in Fort Worth for 21 years. We have selected each year for muscular dystrophy on the corners after carrying routes.
So why would you be mad at me? What do I have to do with that?
Last Tuesday on your radio show, you made some very derogatory comments about the little letter carriers.
No, I didn't.
Standing out on...
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I certainly did, sir.
Well, then you're mistaken. You were listening to another program.
Yeah, you were listening to...
97.1 KEGL.
No, we're not on that station.
Yes, you are, sir.
Not in Dallas.
In Dallas, you are on.
That's Bob and Blazy. You have the wrong show.
Well, they called your name out.
Yeah,
well, maybe they were talking about him.
What they try to do is make it seem like I'm saying something bad about the letter carriers, so the letter carriers won't like me, and they use my name.
And you talked to your mother the next day on the phone.
No, that was not me. I don't talk to my mother on the phone. That's a different show.
Well, I'm very sorry, and I apologize.
And I please, before you besmirch my good... Yeah, of course they do. They all try to besmirch my good name, and I think I'm owed an apology here.
Well, I certainly think so in that case, if that is the truth.
But what did this Howard Stern say, so I may, or this Howard Stern imposter say?
Well, he made comments that the little letter carriers get out on the corners and beg for money for muscular dystrophy.
No, he didn't say that.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Wrong. I can't believe even the fake Howard Stern would say that.
And I'm telling you right now, it was very degrading to the letter carriers.
Absolutely. Well, I am a big, I was once a letter carrier.
We give money nationally, well over $1 million.
Wow. You mean out of all the letter carriers, all they could raise is $1 million?
Corner with our mailbag.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I think letter carriers are much too smart and brilliant to believe that garbage put forth by that phony Howard Stern.
Well, I will call this radio station back in Fort Worth and trace this down.
Good. And don't you have to take a test to be a letter carrier?
Certainly you do.
Of course you do. Don't you have to be able to read an address and everything?
Well, of course.
Yeah, so who's going to be silly enough to believe that Howard Stern would say that?
Well,
the real Howard Stern.
Yeah, the voice sounds very familiar.
Oh,
well,
yes.
They have somebody impersonating him, obviously.
Yes.
Well, we'll find out about it.
Elon Smeltzman is the guy who impersonates...
Elon Smeltzman?
Elon Smeltzman is the guy who impersonates me. I know the guy. Elon Smeltzman.
Okay. And you don't...
hey, let me ask you something. Do you always deliver the mail?
GL 97.1.
No, I am.
Dallas?
I am not on there, no.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Do you always do the houses in the same order? In other words, do you deliver the letters each day to the same house in the same order?
Oh, well, it depends.
Or do you ever mix it up?
It depends on whether you're a regular carrier or a substitute carrier. If you're a substitute,
yes,
you carry different routes. If you're a regular carrier, you carry the same.
Are you a regular carrier?
Yes.
So you go to each house?
Yes.
You go to each house the same order every day? No, do you ever break up the monotony?
I don't know what that has to do with it.
No, I'm just curious.
Just asking about your
job. We're fascinated.
Not often that we get to talk to a letter carrier.
We certainly do.
So you go to the same house? In other words, if you want sometimes to go to, instead of going to 36, you go to 48 first?
Well, it depends on whether they got mail.
Well, if you do have mail for every house on the block, do you sometimes...
Every house on the block. If you have mail for every house on the block.
Yeah, but do you sometimes start at the end and work up, or do you always have to go...
have a certain route,
yes,
and you have a layout each day.
Okay.
And if it rains, do you walk faster? Or do you generally keep the same pace?
We generally keep the same pace.
Will you wear a hat in the rain, or will you just say, hey, the heck with it, I'm just going to walk out there and get wet?
Hey, you just have to take it what comes.
Do you say to yourself, neither rain, nor snow, nor sleet?
You better believe it.
Yes. Well, you're very dedicated to your job. Are you allowed to chat if someone is gardening, or do you just keep going?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you are allowed? I didn't realize that. I thought you had to keep quiet.
Well, no. We talk to our customers. We give good service.
Oh, yes. Do you ever get phony letters that you had to deliver to an imaginary address?
Oh, sometimes.
See, you were the victim of a practical joke, just like I was. Obviously.
Yes, I understand.
Yes.
And I appreciate your time.
Well, no problem, and I accept your apology.
All righty.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, took care of that call, Robin.
That's what we got to do with that home.
Yeah, right. We didn't say it. Who else said that?
That wasn't us.
That was the Ivan Schmeltzman show.
That was the easiest we've ever had it.
You know what? I just couldn't deal with it. And I copped out. All right?
Blame someone else.
That's all.
Why not?
That's what I always do.
Let someone else deal with it.
You like that?
I loved it.
Because you knew that the other way would have been ridiculous argument.
Oh,
and she would have yelled.
Terrible, and it would take a lot of energy, and everybody would have felt that. Now, everybody felt good.
It was the Mengi Schmelman show. Well, she's lovely, and certainly...
We learned a little bit about the letter carriers?
Yeah, we learned. They go in the same order no matter what. Never get crazy with that.
How do we get our mail?
All right, what else is in the news, Robin?
You are allowed to go on Letterman pretty much anytime you want, are you not?
I have, yes.
Yes.
I've been good to them. They've been good to me.
Right. You wait and see after you do the Tonight Show if you can go on a month later on the Letterman Show. You can't.
Hey,
you'll see.
Listen, I'm a big boy.
And Letterman's right because hey, choose your allegiances. Choose your allegiances.
I've been the
no, not the most, but when Jay calls, you say
not appearances.
Let me see you say to Jay, I do Letterman.
All the people that started on the Letterman Show,
yes,
very soon, quickly did all the other shows. All of the other shows. I never did.
All right, so you will do the Tonight Show. Are you going to do the Tonight Show?
But I've been on record saying I'll do an occasional Tonight Show, but Letterman always comes first, and that's the way it is.
So let me ask you this: Jay has called. You just did Letterman. You are now going to go do the Tonight Show?
Well, I just got the message. I don't know what my schedule is.
Oh, you don't know your schedule.
I think I'm sneaking out of this thing.
Your schedule is so... You mean you live in Los Angeles?
No,
your
blood's
schedule...
pouring out of your mouth like The Shining at the elevators.
Robin, what do you make of all this?
I believe that he knows exactly what he's going to do.
He's not going to do it.
He is not going to do the show.
He's going to be busy.
He's got a scheduling problem already.
He's going to do another Mel Brooks movie.
That's right. His movie calendar is full. He's got to shoot.
I'm sorry, Jay.
I shoot every day on my show. I don't know.
Okay. All right, we'll come back and talk about
25 share in New York, thank you.
All right, Richard Lewis is here. He has a new show.
Number one demographics. Thank you.
Yeah, that means you're not number one. Don't do this.
Number one, we beat every network demographics.
All right.
That's pretty good, isn't it? You know that demographic word.
I'm going to talk about how you're doing in a minute. Who are you dating now? You must be able to get a lot of girls.
I went out with a couple women who I asked them if they had any lesbian experience. I have a lot of lesbian friends, but to me personally, I'm looking to get married.
Are you really?
So this couple women said I had 3. I asked them to describe it. And I knew right away.
Yeah, he's kidding.
I'm not kidding. I knew right away.
Who are you dating now?
No one.
No one in particular? Just like different girls?
Different women.
Different women?
I don't know what to do. I don't know what. I don't think I'm going to ever get married. I think I'm set my ways.
Yeah, I think you're a single man for the rest of your life. Which is, you know.
So what's better? To be on radio and have your wife call up screaming?
That was embarrassing.
I felt bad.
I felt bad. I mean, I felt bad for me.
From the massage.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun.
You know, I feel a little guilty, but I wasn't thinking about you getting. I was thinking about myself getting a massage.
I know. Well, everybody was. That's the idea of it.
No,
I'm a creative genius, and my wife had to stop me in the middle of my genius.
Well, you told it's for people to think that they're getting a massage.
Exactly.
You were like getting massage. You're like this Messiah. You're getting massages for everybody.
That's right. I do it so that everyone else.
In fact, you're the massage Messiah.
Hey, thank you.
That's my new nickname for you, huh?
Well, it's the end of my massages on the air.
I doubt it, buddy.
No.
I doubt it.
Me too.
Really? You lie so well.
My nose is growing.
Did you lie all the time, like high school all the time?
So, when you were on the set of Mel Brooks' movie...
That was a ball, yeah.
It was a ball, but...
It made almost $35 million.
Did it really?
Oh. Listen,
no, I didn't think it did well.
Yeah,
no, I didn't think it did well.
Yeah.
He says the Mel Brooks movie made $35 million.
$35 million. Last week was up to $33 million.
Are you serious?
I wouldn't lie about that. I don't lie like you.
$33 million, Mel Brooks'
last week. That's only here in America.
Wow. I guess each of Mel's friends paid $1 million a piece to get in. So you probably had like 33 rich guys.
I'm laughing. My colon just fell out from that joke.
Oh, come on.
No, it was sometimes you construct jokes so magnificently.
Thank you.
Really?
You're jealous.
Of what?
How funny
what, you're reading?
I'm so funny.
Everyone's so thin here now. It smells like a commune in the 60s. It stinks in here.
He says Mel Brooks' movie made $33 million.
I read it in the paper. Yeah, it did.
Do you believe that, Robin?
No.
Oh, get the call Variety right now. You know, I hate all of you now.
You know, it might have made that with overseas.
Has it been there yet, Miss Big Shot?
I don't know how it could have made 33 million here.
The only way I can figure it is...
Read the papers, you momos.
Is that including popcorn sales?
Maybe.
Now that's funny. You're like Howie's Comet. Every 70 years, you're sneaking a good one.
Come on.
We watch my show, so I got to go soon. I've got to do a lot of things today.
Good,
I don't want
I have to go to the bathroom.
You got to go do the news.
Right.
I miss you. I didn't get a hug from you this morning.
I was going to come over and hug you.
No, well, did it happen?
I'm still on my way.
You didn't see Robin's tattoo?
Yeah, but the Gina thing wiped out all sense memory of Robin.
Right.
And she's quite a beautiful woman. Anyway, I love you all, and that's
right.
about
Are you
it.
leaving now?
Yeah,
Yes, I'm gonna
he's
go.
splitting so we can do the news and get out of here.
Yeah, he doesn't like me here with news. Get Gilbert here for the news.
Right, Gilbert's good on the news. Richard's better on his own for interview segments.
I think he's the best on the news.
By the way,
pretty good on
you
the
were
news.
very good on my E-interview show.
Yes, he wants to now change his opinion of you. He thought what you did was very funny.
Yeah, when you were doing it, I didn't think it was funny, and then when I watched it, it was funny.
Well, I got more comments on the first segment and then you came back and nailed me. But that was
It was good.
Yeah, it was excellent. And the show was very good.
Thank you. And I'm going to watch your show this Sunday night because my friend told me it was real good.
It's a very funny show.
This guy, Elliot Lutzker, told me.
I don't need names.
All right. Just thought you'd like to know.
Oh, by the way, Phil Hallman likes your hair. Like Maury would say that. By the way, who did your teeth? What, Maury? Your teeth, they're not clean.
And I tried to ask him who he's dating now, but he's being real tight about it.
Yesterday, man.
He won't tell you that?
Hey, you know who's mad at me?
Another performer down.
Seinfeld's mad at me.
Why is that?
Because I made fun of his 17-year-old when he dated a 17-year-old.
Well, I didn't speak to him about it, but how can he be mad at you?
I know. I was in Playboy saying this month how funny it is when I do stuff about
Mention Playboy. What about I'm on the cover of Penthouse? How about that?
We mentioned that.
I did that.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday.
Thank you very much. I mentioned they edited you out of the article. I'm sorry. I always
I'm
mention
sure. I'm sure. Well, anyway, so Jerry Seinfeld says, oh, Howard and I, we kid around each other and we tease each other, but off the air, we laugh about it and all that kind of stuff. And there's nothing that Howard could say that would really offend me, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, he's not talking to me.
Right, now he's not speaking.
Well, when you don't call him, how are you? Do you?
No, but he won't.
Oh,
he's already made it painfully obvious to the people at E and to the people here that he's not talking to me.
No kidding.
Because he's angry that we wrote a song about his relationship.
Oh, you did write a song about it?
Yeah, and it was
really
and it's a funny song. She was 17. Should I play it for you and see if you think it's offensive?
I'd like to hear it, yes, before I leave.
All right, okay, good.
Before you want to do a commercial break for us?
No, I want to play you the song.
Okay.
Fred, if you will.
Gary has it.
Gary has it?
Well, this might take 3 days.
Gary, if you will. Bring in the song and
Gary
I'll play
gets
it.
tapes on Mule.
Could you be mad at me for... Did you ever get mad at me at anything I ever said about you?
No, because I love you.
Right.
I know you.
And you know I can goof
I know
on
you're
you.
coming from an evil place.
Right.
And I understand it.
Right.
Really, you are the true Satan.
I am really evil.
You are evil, so I understand it.
Right.
I appreciate that you're being honest and evil.
And the fact that I even acknowledge you is that's an honor, isn't it?
It's a total honor.
In an evil way.
In an evil way.
So you're not phony. That's why I like you.
You're losing your hair.
Huh? I know.
Oh, man.
You
Wait,
didn't
the
notice
front?
that?
No, it just...
No, it's the
whoa.
way this is pushed up. What do you think now? Bad?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
See, I think he used to let it
Well,
fall forward.
you're losing yours in the front, too. Just because yours hangs down like a swing.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that you don't lose
That
in the
makes you
front.
feel better.
So this is the song?
Rickles has more hair. all right. Here we go. Here's the song. You ready? All right. Soon they'll go, hey, which one is Rickles?
Yeah. Who's the father and who's the
Oh,
son?
you can't lose your hair, man. That's your whole look.
Huh?
Oh, that's your whole look.
What did you
You know what it is? The light
you could handle?
is shining right down on him.
But,
But do you think
what are you
you
gonna
could
do?
handle being bald?
Huh? No.
What are you going to do?
I have the same fear as Howard. And same thing when they want to take pictures outside.
Yeah.
I run.
Yeah, I don't want to take pictures outside.
I want backlighting. They have to chalk me in.
Yeah,
I want
right.
to be put in a cell inside.
Exactly.
I don't care how long it takes to set it up.
All right, here's at 17.
And I'll be the judge of this.
Tell me if you think it's offensive.
Yeah, well, sure.
I might not even need to get that microphone. Here we go. I did it with Janice. Actually, we don't need it
No,
from the
we're fine.
guitar.
We're
What, she heard this too?
No, she played the guitar and sang.
She must be big friends with Jerry, huh?
You come in here. Seinfeld's girl is 17 and innocent with double D's. He saw those breasts and flipped his lid for a real young busty high school kid. A horny, lonely TV geek. Her major jugs made Jerry weak. Can't he find girls his age to date? She's 17 and she's jailbait. You want to do one? That's right.
Takes her out in New York town. That lovely girl and the TV clown. She barely shed her training bra. She kisses lips for your candy bars. Some nice girl you turned, oh no, some nice guy you turned out to be. Oh, this is yours.
Did she sit upon your knee?
You shouldn't really grope for them at 17.
I'll take the next one.
Please.
Will her panties smell like a rose? Is Seinfeld just like Piscopo's? Seducing girls in a limousine while his fans think that he's so clean. Fell for an old man from TV. Did her pubic hair grow in last week? With fresh and firm and round butt cheeks at 17.
All right, you go.
Can't he find some older dame? Do private parts all look the same? Does he make her parents shout when he sticks his tongue in her mouth? Does he think that he's a stud? He should drown in a frigging flood for fooling with a girl
who's 17. What do you think, man? Now, Jerry, I ask you, do you have a brain? When you see her, do you make a stain?
I'm glad this is your verse.
Can he get an older girl? He's damn near old as Milton Berle. You're making such a spectacle, thinking with your testicles. If you're gonna make some glue, you should date girls as old as you. What do you think?
Huh?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think Jerry overreacted.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Richard Lewis. Make sure you see his show with Don Rickles. It was #1, evidently. According to Richard.
In all the demographics.
It was overnights in the big cities did great.
All right, so you're doing well.
Yeah,
Fox is happy?
I hope so.
Good. And what do you do?
You're doing good work. That's all I care about.
And what do you have to do? Memorize the lines, or you guys ad-lib it?
Are you the producer of this
Look
show?
up the word acting in the dictionary.
Who's the producer? Are you the producer?
I'm one of them. Doesn't matter. Anyway, great.
How much you have
to go a long time then?
How much you pay Rickles?
I gotta get out of here. Such stupid, lame questions when I leave. You always hit me with dumb questions when I leave.
How come you told
like,
me?
What's broccoli? Is broccoli good for you?
How come you told me during the commercials Rickles was incontinent? He never said that. I'm just kidding. All right, Richard. Richard Lewis, big Hollywood star. There he goes. Good luck with that Leno Letterman thing.
It's not a problem for me.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No. He says to me during the commercials, go ahead, leave. Leave so I can tell Robin what you said during I'll see you.
Oh, yeah.
Richard Lewis. I'll see you.
I can't believe Jerry overreacted to that song. It's like a poem.
It's a poem. All right, let's take a break, Robin, and then we'll come back with more news.
Well, we also have a new schools chancellor, Howard.
And what's he doing?
And Ramon Cortines says...
I am a type A personality. I work hard.
Cortines says that it will not be a normal first day of classes in the city schools.
Good. Because normal is scary.
But they are going to open the schools on September 20th, whether all the schools have been declared asbestos-free or not.
Asbestos can't hurt you.
What they're going to do is designate portions of the building that have been cleared, and they will then open and keep the children confined to those areas.
Of course. That's why we need more excuses to keep kids out of school.
Well, we're doing it. We've managed to come up with one this year.
How many people have gone through the New York City school system and asbestos doesn't kill them?
Full of asbestos.
And believe me, most of these kids who go to the New York City school system, the best thing in their life is asbestos. You should see what else is going on. Rats, vermin, no parents, falling out of windows, fleas, getting shot at.
I read a story the other day. I didn't put it on the news about a guy who dipped his baby in scalding water.
Baby lived, right?
The baby's alive.
Of course. So you're worried about asbestos? I tell you, kill two birds at once. Feed the asbestos to the homeless, and then you'll be all set. Believe me, for most of these kids who go to city schools, asbestos is a holiday compared to what they deal with. They'll be fine. Send them off to school.
So, you know, the big asbestos scandal continues.
Asbestos. Like that can hurt. At least you won't burn up. You know, that's fireproof, that stuff. The school will never burn down.
School starts today for kids in Connecticut, and they have a new condom distribution program in the state of Connecticut.
Right.
Condoms will be handed out to children as young as 10.
How sick is that? What is that, to like ghetto areas?
Anywhere. It's the whole state of Connecticut.
That is so sick.
And they'll have these places open, and if kids want to come in and get condoms, They can do it as young as the age of 10.
That is so wrong.
But they say there'll be a lot of counseling because the emphasis is on abstinence. So if a 10-year-old comes in looking for a condom, you better believe they're going to be sat down and taught to.
Can you purchase if you need it too for?
Where do you get the? I got my condom.
Yeah, now you give me a condom. Wait a minute.
Yeah, this is the world we live in.
I love
supposed to do about it?
Aren't they called the rubber state, Connecticut? It's ridiculous. Imagine giving a condom to 10-year-olds. That's absurd. Give it to a man like me. He knows how to do it.
Who knows what you're supposed to do? Liz Holtzman, the city controller, broke down and cried on television.
Do you have that?
No, it wasn't that good. You know, I saw it, and you really don't hear her do anything. She just dabs at her eyes, and then she gets up and walks out. And then she took a 20-minute break because all the, I thought, well, gee, what kind of a question was that they asked on New York One? And the only thing they did was ask her to reflect on her political career.
She's been under attack lately, so I think what she probably figured, I'll go on TV and cry and everyone will feel bad for me.
You think it was calculated?
Absolutely. You didn't see real tears there, did you?
No, like I said, she dabbed at her eyes. And
then what did she do? Did she get up and leave the set?
She got up and left and stayed out for 20 minutes.
Oh.
And then came back.
Okay. Give her an Emmy. Next. Give her an Emmy. That's a woman who doesn't cry. Believe me. She's the ice princess. Go ahead.
Well, they're investigating her for a conflict of interest. Apparently, she awarded some contract to a bank that had given her a big loan during her Senate campaign. So they're looking into possible illegal acts there.
Yeah, that's when she can cry.
And they don't know whether she will allow them to release the results of that prior to the primary. But all of her opponents, of course, are calling for a full disclosure.
Opponents would do that. Probably had a couple of onions in her bra. Trying to make those tears roll. Hey, sweetheart, your breasts smell like onions. Thank you.
Oh, how could you say such a thing? I'm just upset about my career. But it wasn't even a real big crying thing. You really couldn't hear anything.
Of course not.
So I didn't bring it in. Meanwhile, remember that guy in New Jersey who says that the Virgin Mary comes to his house?
Yeah.
Once a month.
Ralph Cirillo?
No. It's not Ralph.
Who is it?
It's this Trenton guy.
Yeah. He says the Virgin Mary comes, the Blessed Virgin Mother comes to Trenton?
Right. He says ever since May of 1992. He's seen her there. And so every month now, people are making a pilgrimage to his house, and his neighbors started complaining about all, and he even got into a little bit of an argument with one of his neighbors who was saying, stop, bringing up people to, to perpetrate this hoax on them.
Can you imagine that if some guy announces that that the Virgin Mary visits him, and okay, he's probably got a problem.
And people don't say, oh, that guy's crazy.
No, they visit him. They visit and they want to see the...
They start standing there thinking they're going to see something, too.
Hey, Fred, doesn't the Flash dine with you every night from the comic books?
That was last Tuesday.
Yeah, Fred dines with the Flash every Tuesday.
Barry Allen.
Barry Allen, right. Don't give away his secret identity. It's the Flash, idiot. How do you know all that?
So thousands of devotees have flocked to Joseph Januskowicz's backyard in Marlborough Township since May of 1992. And now here's a sad story of a fare beater, Howard.
A fare beater?
Yeah, a guy who was trying to beat the fare on the subway.
Jumped over the toll thing?
No, he was electrocuted as he climbed a pillar to the Brooklyn elevated stations.
Good, he deserved it.
He was scaling the 15-foot L structure over McDonald Avenue on Tuesday to get to the 18th Avenue station on the F line. When he reached the top, his head touched the third rail.
Yeah.
And the jolt of electricity killed him, sending him falling 15 feet.
Well, see, you gotta be honest.
How much is the fare?
Come on, it's ridiculous.
Is it worth climbing up a pillar and frying your head? Well... He wants to think about it.
To me, it's perfect that they have. At least they have a booby trap everywhere where someone could jump. As soon as you jump over the toll thing, you get electrocuted.
Well, you're going to make life no fun at all.
Everyone will be doing just what I'm doing, having no fun.
Let me see what else is going on here. I want to tell you about television tonight.
Yeah, do that because I keep missing all the shows. You never tell me anything. You keep it a secret. Go ahead.
Well, I see here that there's a new show coming on ABC called Missing Persons.
Dude, that's a good show. I plan to find Fred on that. I haven't heard from him in 3 weeks.
This is the pilot episode.
Yeah.
And it's a new series for Daniel J. Travanti.
Oh, he's a fine actor.
The guy who was in
Hill Street Jews.
Hill Street Blues. You're absolutely right.
Right.
He plays the head of a Chicago Police Missing Persons Division now.
I like when you test me.
Oversees a group of investigators whose styles are varied as their cases.
Sounds boring already.
That should be interesting. The new Sinbad show is going to be coming on tonight.
There's a time.
Sinbad stars as a successful video game designer.
A successful video game designer?
Yeah.
There you go.
Whose swinging bachelor lifestyle is turned upside down when he takes in
Michael
2
Jackson.
foster kids.
Oh. Well, that sounds like a good career move. Hey, who's his agent? Jackie's agent?
He's very ready to admit that the reason he's coming back to television is
Nobody
that
else wanted
nothing
him.
happened to him after he left.
Sinbad.
Frasier, a new NBC series. It's a spin-off from Cheers. This is the series based on the Kelsey Grammer character.
They took the least interesting character on the show and
Yeah,
made
the
a series out of it?
psychiatrist.
No, that's a good idea.
I think he's going to get one of those radio shows, and he's going to be a psychiatrist on the radio
Yeah, that's always interesting.
and give out advice.
And what's his advice? Buy Coke?
And marry a stripper who will beat you.
There you go. Now, that's a good show. I have some advice for you, sir. Well, my question is, I'm thinking of buying a house, and I don't know whether to take a second mortgage. Buy Coke and marry a stripper who will beat you. Next call. Well, I'm thinking about switching careers. I'm a postal worker, and I want to become a school teacher. Buy Coke. Marry a stripper. Thank you. Next call. Hey, Fraser, you want my advice? Talk Ted Danson into staying another season. See how quick you can reform Cheers. Quick. There you go. What else you got there, Robin?
Well, let me see. Eye to Eye tonight, the new Connie Chung series.
Eye to Eye with Connie Chung?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that her eyes are slanted and it's eye
And
to
it's
eye.
Eye to Eye.
That is funny, isn't it?
She's going to talk to that college professor.
Would that be slit to slit?
Slit to eye. Maybe,
Slit to
because
eye?
she's speaking to mostly non-Oriental.
How about eye to slit? All right, there you go. Eye to slit with Connie Chung.
She's going to be talking to that college professor who was accused of making all the obscene phone calls.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, he'll be interesting to talk to. 6 co-eds at Queensboro Community College have charged a counselor at the school with harassment. And they've decided to sue him for $6 million, asking $1 million each. They claim that over a 2-year period they were fondled and verbally harassed.
Oh, yeah!
By Dr. Carlos Heredia, a counselor in his office at the Bayside campus. They say that he made comments about oral sex. He used to hug them and tell them about his private life.
And Jackie, just because you hear the word oral doesn't mean you have to break out into it. There he goes again.
And he would sometimes talk to them about his life, and it looked to them like he was aroused when he did that. And then he asked this one girl, after he did all this, he said, "Hey, you want to go in and lay on my couch?" So the girl said, they finally reported it to another counselor in the office. She made their superiors aware, but nothing was done. So they finally went to, some agency that handles these kind of things and have filed a civil suit. And now the guy's been suspended from his job with pay.
No more fun at the workplace.
No, you can't do that anymore.
No.
Cindy Adams says that Teddy Kennedy had a fundraiser in the Hamptons last weekend. They expected about 250 people, but only 15 or 20 people showed up.
Wow, that's got to be embarrassing. Hey, where's all the people? This is embarrassing. I used to be one of the most popular senators of the United States of America. All the New York liberals used to support me. But now I have a party, and I receive no contributions. This could be because of my Chappaquiddick incident and also the Willie Smith incident. Not even my ex-wife Joni showed up. Who threw the party?
I don't know. They don't say who threw the party, but it says that if for $500 you got a photo with Teddy and his wife.
Oh, we would have gone. Why didn't someone tell us?
For $125, you just milled about and ate hors d'oeuvres.
It's like going to a baseball card convention. Can you believe that? Like, you got to pay like $125 to take a picture with the guy, and like you could, care less.
So the 15 people who did show up, they got a picture with Teddy.
Every for $1,000, I'll drive you into the Long Island Sound. You'll never return. $150 for the picture, though. Maybe you're better off with the picture. Maybe ist this ein Berliner. Maybe that's what my brother said. John F. Kennedy. Every, you'll have to excuse some of my actions. I lost my brother. I lost my brother. The party was a flop, too. 15 people. Pass the shivers. Where is the shivers? No, Teddy, don't. Don't start drinking over this. This is a terrible thing. Last night, I couldn't get my dental floss out of the flossing thing. I almost went for the shivers. Shivers. Oh, shivers. Shivers. Ooh, shivers. JFK Jr. is nailing Daryl Hannah.
Yeah, some people say they're already married.
Boy, he's lucky. And he doesn't get any grief.
What do you mean he doesn't get any grief?
I get lots of grief because I had a driving accident.
But you had a wife.
My wife looks like she's 150. More shivers. Please. I've been sober for a long time now. Let's celebrate with the shivers. Shivers. Did you ever drink shivers?
No.
You don't know what you're missing.
Really?
It's a real rush being the brother of a president and a senator and serving your people. But shivers is better than all of it. And everything. It's just eyeing shivers. I tell you what, since the fundraiser didn't go well, for $1,500 rapping, you can take a picture of me nude holding a bottle of shivers. I'll let you hold the shivers.
Maybe you should call that company. Maybe they would like to have a picture of that as an endorsement or an ad.
Shivers?
Yeah.
I'd be happy to. Maybe it wouldn't look right for a senator to be a spokesperson for shivers, but I do love it. $1,500, Ribbon.
Ribbon?
That is your name, Ribbon. Shillish. Ribbon Shillish. For $2,500, I'll get on all fours and let you and your wife ride me like a donkey.
Me and my wife?
Not you. People at home.
Oh, I see.
The fundraiser.
They can ride you like a donkey?
Yeah, ride me around like a pony style for $1,500.
That might be worth it.
I hate Lee Harvey Oswald. Don't ever bring up that name. I wish he were around so I could kill him. He killed my chances for ever getting to the White House. He was the worst. Did not like him. For $5,000, you can shoot at my head with a squirt gun and pretend you're an assassin. And get a picture of it.
That doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
For $45, I got an ass the size of an Oldsmobile. I'm on you. How's that? I got to raise funds. I need funds. I'm up for re-election. Did you know that? I'm gonna have
yes, I did.
Yes.
It's terrible to see that your popularity is.
That's what New York is.
So low.
No. Hey, that's what New York. Hey, that's what New York is,
You're telling me you don't have this problem elsewhere?
That's right. In Massachusetts, I will win handily. Well,
what do you think is wrong with those people?
It's my fundraisers. All they were offering is one picture for $150. Some people don't have $150. For $6, I'll take a picture of you. I'll throw up in your lap. How's this? For $7,500, yeah. I'll let you scare my mother Rose. You sneak up on her and go, boo. And I get a picture of you doing that. Then we'll have lots of money for the campaign. I'd love to have sex with Jackie O. It's time she cheated on JFK. Got him back. Wasn't right what my brother did.
Well, she's had a husband since then.
Yes, Aristotle Onassis. That hurt.
You don't think that was getting back at Jack?
Yeah, don't you think Jack is flipping over in his grave? I was angry. You would be angry too. I can't believe 15 people showed up for my fundraiser. I just can't believe it.
I can't imagine what you looked like when you walked into that empty room with your new bride.
That's what you don't know about my character. I held my head up high. I did not let on to the crowd that I was disappointed.
You know, your new young wife must have thought, I thought he was popular. I thought, this was some power broker, and I'd be shown the wonderful life of a Tony politician.
But how funny I must have looked when, for 100 people were like, 2 people there wanted a $150 picture with me. I mean, anyone could have taken a picture.
And she did too.
Yes.
If you really advertise, maybe you could get more people to show up.
Yes.
But as it stands now, that's pretty embarrassing for you, and it's amazing. I'm glad that Cindy found out. Because
Cindy found that out. She's a big
No one else was reporting this.
Cindy. It's just I'm Cindy. I'm a Kennedy. I'm proud. One fundraiser goes bad. That doesn't mean it's the end.
Well, now people will be watching more closely, so your draw better be better.
Well, I'm going to take drastic measures right now. I am willing to say on your show.
Okay.
At my next fundraiser for $14,000. I'll call Hillary Clinton a pig on Howard Stern's E-Show. On the TV show. It's in 214 million homes. Allegedly.
Well, I'll tell you, if you did the Howard Stern show,
yes,
that would get you some publicity.
Yes, that's what I'll do. No, I have to raise funds. This is serious.
The idea of you and Howard Stern together?
Yes, that would be a great interview, wouldn't it?
That would be a publicity bonanza.
Yes.
This is what you need.
Well, there'll have to be some rules before I sit down with Howard Stern.
What would be those rules?
Some things cannot be brought up, like my ex-pig wife, Joan.
Well, Senator, I don't know why you'd be afraid to answer any questions.
I would not want to be embarrassed. You have to keep a good public image. I would rather stick to fundraising. All right.
All right.
I will make the following announcement on your show. In order to raise funds at my next fundraiser for $6 million, I'll be Ms. Ted Kennedy. Ms. Theodore Kennedy.
I think people would feel more comfortable around you.
Ms. Edward Kennedy.
Teddy.
Edweenie. That is my statement.
All right, well, you've made the announcement. We'll see what your next fundraiser does.
I bet you everyone will turn out for my next fundraiser. Final offer now. For $150 million.
Oh, you're going for the big bucks.
I'll stop drinking.
Oh.
Have I stopped drinking yet?
I think that you've cleaned up your act a good deal.
Thank you.
And lost some weight, too, which is
yes, because I was on a boat with Clinton, Hillary Rodham Clinton, and Jackie O, and a black guy the other day.
Well, it was nice for you to see some black people.
Yes, I'd love to help them.
Well, let's go on now. I'm sorry, Ted, we can't stay with you forever. There's a new TV show coming on tonight on CBS called Angel Falls, starring James Brolin and Peggy Lipton.
I have a little piece of it if you want me to play it.
You do?
Yeah.
Jokes. They're harmless. And girls telling dirty jokes and guys telling dirty jokes. It's just very funny. There's no reason it can't be on one of the major cable stations.
There it is.
Oh, boy.
Phone is Jessica Hahn. She wants to say a few words about Butt Bongo Fiesta.
What big satellite thing is she doing today?
She's probably doing that,
Playboy thing?
No, the satellite that we usually do.
Yeah, but for the Playboy thing.
Yeah, for her Playboy video, which I finished watching. But I'm not talking about her video anymore on the air.
Yeah, apparently we've done something wrong.
Yeah, Jessica, every time I talk about Jessica's video on the air, she calls up the station crying.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Gary told me you did.
No, Gary didn't take that call. It was one of the interns who said, please call Jessica because she's very upset.
No, it wasn't even about, it wasn't anything Howard said.
So I said to Gary, call Jessica back and say, if Jessica's upset, I won't talk about her video anymore.
No, please, it wasn't that.
What was it, Gary?
It was Tell me, it was about the Jackie thing.
Well, yeah, she's mad at Jackie and Robin.
What did we do?
She said, well, you say it, Jessica.
Okay. Mostly, because Jackie said, well, wait for the next video to see what she makes up, and third time virgin, you know. It was just kind of like, you know.
I found another great Jessica rap on her tape.
Well, I can't comment. Neither can you, Jake.
I've got the entire tape is on up there on tape 2.
Do you have the rap where she, it's right after she's on the carousel? Do you have that one?
I mean, we took everything off the tape, like you said.
Yeah, but do me a favor. Find the one that, because we haven't played this on the air yet. She's on a carousel. She does a whole rap about her life.
Okay.
All right, go back and find that one.
So today's the last day, huh?
Which rap is that, Jessica?
I'm not sure. I believe it's, something about being happy.
I wonder if Gary actually pulled that one. I better not go search for it. You think you pulled that one?
Scott said he took every single thing that she said on the tape.
It says, I believe in myself.
That one.
Yeah.
I think the carousel was going really fast.
Oh, it was.
And Jessica got her brain got scrambled.
No, it really was. It's very possible. It was going fast.
Is this it, Fred?
I don't know.
No, this isn't it.
It says last rap. I don't know if that's it.
I don't know where I came from.
That's the very last rap.
No, that's not the one.
That's the one we played already.
How you guys doing?
I'm looking at Gary's bewildered face. I'm not doing that.
Well, I don't know if you want me to go there and look for it on that tape. Or you
I don't
want
know. I don't know what I want you to do.
See, well, how would I know?
It's just when I turn over and see that face.
You're lost.
If you don't know,
and it's so confused. It's just so confused.
For orders.
Gary, all it is.
I am. I don't know.
Don't wait for orders.
If I walk out, you'll go, hey, idiot, come and
No,
walk
out. Walk out. It's best you walk out now. I thought maybe you could run down and quickly pull that rap, but that's okay. You just,
he didn't pull it? He didn't pull it.
I don't know what he pulled.
It's on the tape, he said.
You said on Friday you wanted every single thing she said.
Gary, how would I find it in the middle of a big, huge reel of tape? Is it leadered? Is it leadered, Gary, so I know what the second to last rap is?
I haven't heard it.
What?
You heard it.
I heard it.
He's gone.
Why wouldn't he listen to it?
Understand what you're saying.
He doesn't even know what I'm talking about. He has no clue what I'm talking about ever. He's always right. That's why he's not a good producer. He can't learn from me.
Everyone can guess your...
Gary, what you would do is leader...
Listen. Why don't you give me a hint where the carousel scene is and I'll go get it?
We just told you it's the second to last scene. How many times I got to say it? You're just sitting there bewildered.
It's the second to last scene, and it's the first thing I say right before the carousel scene.
He's like, well, I don't know what to do.
I'm waiting for orders.
I'm waiting for orders. I think Gary was on the carousel. There's this giant horse with big teeth.
I don't know if you want me to look for it over there or look for it over here.
Yeah. And then he goes, you got a big tape over there. It's a reel that's huge. Every time am I going to find it? I'm in the middle of talking to Jessica, and I'm busy looking for this thing. Put them on carts for me. Put them on, and label them.
Yeah.
The intro and the outro. No, that he doesn't do. That he don't know what I'm talking about. So now when I got Jessica on the phone, I can't find anything.
Wolf, I have another blind tape for you.
Yeah. I got another giant reel of tape with millions of things on it.
Hey, Wolf, guess what's on this tape?
Yeah. Hey, you heard it. You know what's on there. You know what I think happened? We had the big winter storm and a big piece of hail hit him on the head. Made him even stupider. He's the stupidest guy I know. He really is. He just stares at me. And of course, they never do anything right. You got to put them on cartridges so I can see them.
Yeah, there's, each individual rep is the whole thing. There's many different ways to use this.
Gives me a giant.
What I could do is become your intern.
Gives me a giant reel of tape.
That is bullshit.
They're not even leadered, so I could tell what's second to last.
They just ran them all together?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Ran them all together in one big tape.
You will find it over there?
Well, there's only 4 minutes.
Hey, just listen. How's everyone supposed to know what you want?
It's there, boy. I have all of it right there.
All the tape is right there. Like an imbecile.
There's only 4 minutes of talking throughout the...
Well, now Gary's new thing is he just gives everything to Scott and tells him to go do it. He doesn't even look at the tape.
Well, Mr. Delegate. He delegates everything.
He delegates everything. He can stare at me with his big hound tooth. Big hound tooth lips.
Who's supposed to know what you want?
Anyway, Jessica.
Yeah.
Well, you were on Butt Bongo Fiesta. Today is our Butt Bongo Day. It's our last day for Butt Bongo Fiesta.
You know, I'm not kidding you. Before I left New York, I ordered 5 more copies. Artie called the 800 number.
Yeah.
And ordered 5 more.
Because this is a limited supply. This is it. And once you order, and today is the last day. That's it. That's the end of it. And we've had our last tape, U.S. Open Source, selling for $1,100.
Oh, yeah.
And that you forget all of the things that are on the tape. I mean, there's so much. I mean, when you talk about the funeral, there's the bathtub.
Oh, that's right, the Jessica Hahn bathtub incident, where we threw Stuttering John into the bathtub with the naked Jessica Hahn.
Yes.
And Jessica's freaking out. And Fred, fortunately, had his little camera with him, so we could videotape all that. Yeah, but there's a million aspects to this tape.
You
Everyone
and Robin tap dancing?
Me and Robin tap dancing, yes.
That's right.
And you enjoyed doing... I remember Jessica was getting dressed for Butt Bongo Fiesta, and I came back to her dressing room, and she was trying on different outfits for me. And finally, she put on a thing that she was practically nude in, where you could see everything. And I just said, oh, that's a good outfit. She goes, oh, you don't think it shows too much? I go, no, not at all. You show up in that. And I said, do me a favor, wear a bathrobe down to the set. I want to surprise the gang with what you're wearing.
And Robin, I had a huge trunk of clothes, and had I known you were going to have me wear that, I could have put that in my purse.
I think you knew you were going to wear that.
No, I honestly did.
Well, how did you have the belt to match?
Yeah. So Jessica stands there completely naked. She takes off her robe, and Robin and Jackie are screaming.
Oh, I was howling.
Right.
I never laughed so hard in my entire life.
Robin was crying.
It was like the Emperor's New Clothes. She knows she's nude.
Yeah, she's nude.
Howard
is so funny.
Howard walks in the dressing room and says, "Great, okay, that's good." Like as if I just put on just an everyday dress. Okay, that's good. Put a robe on it.
Yeah, he came back. He said, "Robin, I played this so well. I acted as if nothing was happening."
Because Jessica goes, "Do you think I'm showing too much?" And I said, "No." And then I came upstairs and said, "Look, Jessica's insane. She's naked for this shoot." I said, "What you got to do is just don't react. Don't just try to act like it's normal if she asks your opinion on what she's wearing." What is it, John?
Gary wants to know if it's in the carousel, so he can't find it. He can't find it. He's going crazy.
It is right before.
It's right before.
Right before she gets on the carousel, she does a rap.
No. The opening of the scene.
It's the opening of the scene.
So you can see the carousel in the background?
No.
What you see, John, is you see a sign that says closed.
Closed, yeah.
And then right then, I walk for about 2 seconds, and then you hear a voiceover.
Yeah.
All right, so then, okay.
The carousel has
You can't find it.
No, you know why? Because he's just fast. He's going to take
right before the
it's voiceover. All right.
Well, he's got to listen to the voiceover.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he probably thought it was the other.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway. It's too late. I got to hang up.
All right, listen.
Yeah.
No, it's really great, and I honestly believe everybody should get it. I mean, there's so much on there.
Well, thank you, Jessica. And you were a big part of the tape, and Jessica, of course, stars in her first big 3D movie role.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
She is the, of course, the Jungle Woman when she's captured by the big-breasted 3D women.
And I mean, and the elephant. I mean, everything's great. Everything.
Okay. When Jessica was up there on the elephant with me during the shooting of this thing, she thought she was married to me. You should have seen her. Her arms wrapped around me. Oh, Howard, I feel so safe up here on the elephant.
Really? She said that?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was scared. I had never been on top of an elephant.
Oh, you felt safe because you were with Howard?
Well, yeah.
She knows how to treat a man.
I honestly did. I said, well, he must have done this before, so I'll just hold on.
Yeah.
I mean,
meanwhile, I was glad she was up there.
I know, he felt safe because he was with you.
Did you see Jessica stroking the elephant's trunk?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
Unbelievable. And remember when he tried to sit or something? Remember?
Yeah, we were on him and he tried to sit.
That's how we had to climb on.
Yeah, you were so frightened you had to grab me.
I did. I think he just had done this like 100 times.
Oh, yes, he's Jungle Man.
I'm Jungle Man. She really bought into I was Jungle Man. All right, Jessica, very good.
I had a lot of fun.
And Jessica also has a Playboy video out that is out right now. But more importantly, 1-800-52-STIRN.
Yes, because it'll be out for a while.
Yeah.
1-800-52-STIRN ends today.
It ends today. We're here to celebrate that. All right, Jessica, thanks. Okay.
Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Thanks, guys.
That's Jessica Hahn, everybody.
Bye-bye. Hey, love you.
Love you.
Oh.
Talking to me, Robin.
Oh, okay. Because I know she doesn't love me. She's upset.
Oh, I do so.
Love you.
I do.
Jessica can never get mad at me, so she got mad at you and Jackie.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. She was really mad at me, but she'll never say it.
Yeah, she has to deflect it and so.
I give her a hard time for 2 hours, and I say one sentence. Oh, that's
Jackie. She's a bastard.
It's okay.
All right, Jessica.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, Put that Papa Fooey, boy. He's something else.
Then he calls me, where is it?
Where is it? What are you talking about?
Is it on the carousel or is she just before the carousel? Do you see the carousel?
I said at the beginning of the carousel.
Can you see the carousel in the background?
Two idiots.
Gary, you don't understand why you did wrong? Oh, you got the tape?
Yeah, it's coming. Scott's carting it now.
Oh, okay.
Except, of course, our cart machines are broken, and now they take a long time to cart.
Yeah, that's what you should have done to begin with. Cart them.
You said to take them all and put them on one tape so you could play it. That's what you said.
No, that's
yes,
not what I said.
Yes.
Are they leadered so I can tell which rap is what? No.
No, you want to.
They're never organized. You just throw everything on one tape, and Boss will deal with it.
No, that's what you wanted. You wanted everything.
That's not what...
you didn't say you wanted everything on individual cards, or you would have said
Gary,
something.
I want everything organized.
No, you want everybody to know what you think without telling them.
I want you to... If I say to you, go get tapes, try to organize it the best you can. Just don't give it to Scott and say, throw it all on a tape and get it in.
You said you just wanted everything she said all in a row. You wanted to play it all in a row.
I never said all in a row. Never. Ever. He always has an excuse. He'll never listen to me.
No. I don't always have an
You will never listen to me.
No, you'll always be in charge of the microphone, and then you can say whatever you want.
I'm letting you say whatever you want.
That's why you're a genius. You're great.
No. I'm a genius
You're incredibly
because
entertaining.
if I was the producer of this show,
right,
I would handle it a whole different way. A whole different way.
Right.
But, hey, you're the producer. I can't sit and tell you how to do your job.
You're not sure. How could you?
No,
you're not sure what you want when you want it. How would you know what to tell me what to do?
Are you a jackass?
No.
Okay.
That much I
then
do
listen
know.
to me carefully. You're the producer of the show. I need someone with organizational skills. Do you have any?
Yes.
Okay. Then go organize and leave. Goodbye. He goes, how could you know how to be the producer? You don't know what you want.
It's true.
So recognizing that, why don't you take over and tell me what I want?
How come my mic is lower?
Because I can't stand you.
No, because you don't want to hear me.
No, I hear you, but you don't make sense.
I'm not going to talk.
You're retarded.
I'm not going to talk.
Goodbye. You're not going to talk?
No.
Good. That's what I wanted all along. He goes, like he's punishing me.
Yes, that's it. I'm not talking to you.
That's it. I'm not talking to you.
Thank goodness.
Did you see that, Jackie? He's not talking to me.
It's over.
It's over. Well, these are not surfboards. These are my teeth.
It's too early.
It's too early. Well, I see I have to take a break.
Oh, this is good. All the snow will be gone when we get off.
Yeah. I see we have to take a break. And what are we doing today? Who is coming down for the big butt bongo party, Gary?
Fred the Elephant Boy and Tempest. Everyone else was gone.
Everyone else is gone?
Yes. The animal trainer's out of town. Maybe Daniel Carver.
Is the animal trainer calling in?
He's going to try.
And what about Daniel Carver, the KKK guy?
He's going to try. He was out of town.
He's out of town.
Wait, he's out of town?
Yes.
Where is he?
I have no idea. They tried to beep him. His son tried to beep him.
Oh, dear.
Obviously, you spent 1 to 2 minutes on the phone preparing for this.
That is a complete lie.
How many calls did you make?
I had to be 20 or 30.
Oh, okay.
Even we got turned down by some people.
Really? Who?
Well, I don't know if I want to say. The producer of the tape couldn't come on the air.
Well, yeah, we knew that.
And then a lot of people just weren't home. It was a day's notice.
I see.
Day and a half's notice.
Day and a half's notice?
Yeah, in other words, we decided to do this Thursday afternoon.
Right.
If a stripper goes out of town,
yeah,
and you leave messages on their machine,
I see.
How can they get back to us?
I see. All right. Well, okay.
What are you okaying me about?
I said, well, okay.
But you're acting like I'm a jerk.
No, you're acting like a jerk.
No.
Get out.
You're like, yeah, fine,
why don't you leave the room before you make a fool out of yourself? And before I really start yelling at you, I'm really trying to contain myself.
Yeah.
Get out. Get out of the room.
Yeah.
Get out of the room now.
Yeah.
Get out. Close the door quickly. Get out.
I'm on my way.
Good. Goodbye. Get out. Fafafui, starting in again. Fafafui. I said, fine, well, we'll have to deal with that. He goes, hey, you're acting like I'm a jerk.
What are you okaying me for?
If I say okay, it's no good. I said, okay. What a jerk.
It was like a pigeon wearing ears. And then we waited for the screen machine, and there's a special line where you can wait to sit in the front seat because that's the best seat because you look like you're going to die.
Right.
So we wait for hours, and then it's our turn to sit in the front. And who gets to cut the whole line and take our seat? Robin. Robin cut us.
Robin
on the screen
Quivers.
machine. Robin Quivers. You cut us. What kind of a
evidently-
human being? And we're all going, Robin, we've been
Did she
waiting.
get booed?
No, everyone was really excited to see her. She knew everyone loves her. She smiles, and everyone.
Great Adventure was a sponsor of ours. I remember this.
Right.
And because if you were a VIP, so to speak, you got to cut in front of the
they had
line.
somebody bring me around to every ride.
Right. So, you don't
It
really...
was way more exciting to see you than it was. No one was pissed. Everyone was like.
Well, it's funny because they were a sponsor of ours. So Gary gets told, you can go to Great Adventure. You'll be able to cut in line.
Yeah.
He brings his wife, his 2 kids. They go. He cuts right in the line. He said he got booed so badly. And people started taunting him in front of and his children and everything because
front of his children.
well, in front of his, they were taunting the kids too because you know what, people had waited in line a really long time,
Right.
And all of a sudden, look who's here, Gary.
Who's here. Money bags.
Yeah,
Phooey.
money
No, well, he doesn't have that
He said it
smile.
was
He doesn't
so
have Robin's.
bad.
You know what it was? It was. I realize now, especially hearing Amy's story.
Yeah.
Like the woman who brought us around, she said, "Oh, I had Chris Rock last week and everything." So I figure if you're going to get cut, you expect Chris Rock to walk
Yeah.
up. You see
Yeah.
me,
Not Baba Booey.
like what the fuck?
What a disappointment.
Yeah. So you were. I was reading notes on you. You were a really bad person because you used to shoplift. You'd get into big trouble.
Wow.
God, did I say that in my interview?
Yes, yeah.
I got arrested a couple times.
She got arrested a couple
You're
times.
Lucky not to be in prison.
That
What
is correct.
this?
That is
Every
correct.
kid goes through a shoplifting stage.
Not
I went,
like me.
But did you? I mean, every kid doesn't get caught.
Yeah, well, I was, it was grand larceny. You shoplifted?
Oh my God! All of my friends. My mother did not like my friends. Now I realize why.
They are bad friends.
They would say we're going to go to Roosevelt Field and we're going to have a shoplifting spree. And I would be in such a nervous panic. I go, well, I want to go along with the group. I
Yeah.
want to be a part of this. And they were all terrific at it. I had a friend who could hide whole record albums. There was no CDs. It was record albums underneath his coat.
Oh, my God.
Another friend would go into like a Barnes & Noble type bookstore and steal every book, hardcover, softcover, everything. And it was sort of like a competition. So they bring me along. I'm sweating bullets. I don't want to steal anything. I have this. I'd never stolen anything in my life.
Yeah.
I walk into Macy's. And I saw tie tacks. Now, I don't wear ties. I'm a little kid.
What are you going to do with
What
that?
do you need a tie?
But I wanted to steal something so I could be in with
Like,
the
look,
crowd.
guys, yeah.
And so I swiped a tie tack. I stuck it in my pocket. I was shitting in my pants. I came out with this tie tack like I had just won the lottery.
Right.
I remember bringing it home and feeling horribly. But the thing that saved me was I brought my cousin with me, and they wanted him to shoplift, and I felt in charge of him. And I said, we're going home. I don't want anything bad. I went home. Thank God. All my friends got caught. And they brought the police in. They were involved in everything. But these guys couldn't
They were
really,
trailing them.
I don't know what happened, but somebody got caught in the store, and then that was it, and then it was all over for them. What was your story?
You got caught?
I got caught. Well, the first time I got arrested, I was out. I think it was like a junior Olympic. Like I played volleyball,
Right.
and we were in San Jose, and it was something. My mom was the chaperone of this tournament, and we were going around, and I was just like stealing whatever, like candles, shot glasses, nothing like
Right.
that I would
All
ever use.
junk that you'll never need.
Garbage, and I didn't get caught. The other girls got caught, and they said if anyone else did, fess up. And I'm like, we're a team, right, guys? Okay. I'm like, let's all tell them. I'm like, I did it. Now you guys go. And they're all like,
oh,
yeah,
you're
that's all you.
kidding.
Yeah. So I got in trouble. I got benched the whole tournament, knee pads around the ankles. My mom is just the chaperone, just staring at me. I think she still thought she probably didn't do it. Somebody probably planted something on her. But then the time I got arrested, bad. I want to tell you I was like 14, but it was I was like 21. I was like 20 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. I was at Bloomingdale's and with my.
Did you have a problem? Do you think you're a kleptomaniac?
Your face was extended.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are.
I had been shoplifting for a long time.
So some people actually have like a problem. Like you're not taking
can't go
stuff
into a store without it.
You're not taking stuff you need necessarily. It's just the idea, the thrill of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, isn't it sad? Like, I'll read some police blotter when I'm in some city, and it's all like, this 90-year-old woman was stealing milk to feed her grandson. I'm like, I already have that pinstripe pantsuit, but why don't I get another one? I was like really well dressed. It was college. I was like stealing a lot of nice clothes, but I figured out a way I could return the clothes and get cash.
Oh no!
Oh, wow.
Yes, so I was into it, but it wasn't about what I could get very much. It was the adrenaline.
Did you go to a psychiatrist about this?
Totally a rush.
Did you go to a psychiatrist about this?
Not
because
about this specifically. I
Right.
mean, I've gone to many
Have you
psychiatrists.
stopped? Do you-
Oh yeah, no.
You're not
After
going to
getting
take our.
arrested,
You're not
that's
going to
it.
take our little tchotchkes over there, are you?
No, no. I mean, they're gorgeous. They're really everything in this room looks amazing.
So you
no,
got
I don't have a
caught?
problem stealing things.
Right.
It was only from like
So who
big
caught you?
places. Bloomingdale's.
Bloomingdale's got you.
They're real. Beware, they're really tough.
And they took you down and they arrested you and the whole thing?
Yeah, and
Wow.
it was with my cousin who is
Senator Chuck Schumer.
he's not my uncle.
What is he?
I don't know. He's like my dad's cousin.
Oh, so you don't really know him.
We know each other.
Right. Does he
if we
root
saw
for
each
you?
other, I think he hopes that I probably get hit by a train so my name can stop appearing. Yeah, it's never good press for me.
Don't you think the family is proud of you? Don't you think Chuck Schumer even says, "Hey, you know who my cousin
I don't
is"?
know what
It
she
depends
is, but
on the
we're
thing.
related.
Right.
Like I think they thought Last Comic Standing was exciting, and being here, they'll be super excited about. But other things, like they don't really. Like I was trying to explain to my dad what a roast was, and he was like, "Well, maybe you shouldn't do that." You know, I was like, "Maybe not."
What does your dad do for a living?
He mostly just shits himself. He has MS. He lives in a hospital. But it's really somehow not sad because he still thinks he's like gorgeous. Like he's trying to get me to help him set up a Match.com profile.
Wow.
Like, I'm like, what do you want me to write? Like shits himself and has no memory. He's like, that's perfect.
So your parents are divorced?
Yeah.
And he has MS.
Yeah, but he's like happy. It's the weirdest. He's fine.
You
He's
don't
totally
feel sad
fine.
about any of this?
No, I mean, if I really think about it, it's so like I have seen my father drop heat in front of me at LaGuardia. It was the worst. I was going to spend the summer in Montana with my brother, and he was like, it was when you could still walk people to the gate of their plane. And my dad was like, I'm going to walk you to the gate. Like there were a lot of, we knew it was getting worse. So we like went surfing for the last time together. Like we, all these last things. And that was
I'm
really
gonna cry.
sad. Do it, please. I want you to
cry
know.
now. Let's see it.
No,
She's a
but-
bullshit artist. She's not crying. Right.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to cry. Can I have another latte?
Yeah.
Let me wipe my tears with this
That's very
100.
heavy to go surfing with your father for the last time.
That was really heavy.
Are you waiting for the big call from Saturday Night Live or something? Like, did you ever fantasize about being on there?
Oh, yeah.
Did you audition?
No, I've been asked to audition. I'm like, trying to get better, and I'm an actor, but I don't really do characters. But I'm not like, my goals change so much that I want to keep getting better at stand up, and I'm getting more acting work the past couple years. It's been really good.
In other words, you still enjoy doing stand-up. A lot of people, like I saw Eddie Murphy on David Letterman, who I think is one of the most brilliant stand-ups. And he was like, at 27, I was done with it. That's it. I never wanted to do it again.
I can't imagine that. I mean, that would be fine if that ever happens, but I can't wait to get on stage every night. Yeah. But it
some
sucks
guys
traveling. I mean, everything other than the actual stage time is awful. Like, it's really depressing.
Especially for a girl, because like guys at least go on the road and get laid
They'll get
a lot.
drunk, they'll get laid. After the show, I'm like, I hope no one says anything too mean to me. I'm like selling my CDs. I'm like, everyone has something. They'll be like, they'll think it's a compliment, and I'm like, they'll be like, you're a lot thinner in person, and I'm like, did you think that I wasn't going to hear that? Like, well, on TV, you're a fucking beast.
Do guys hit on you at all at these clubs?
A tiny bit, but they don't do it well. You know, they'll like come up and try and like make a joke. I would love to like meet a guy and be like, let's check out the Best Western.
You're a successful stand-up comedian. Can you make a good living doing it nowadays, or is like income gone down because everyone's sort of hurting?
The economy.
No, I'm in a good position. I'm not rich. I live in a studio and ride my bike everywhere.
What
but,
what kind of living can a stand-up comic who's really headlining now and doing a good
like headlining now on TV a little bit?
Yeah.
You can make 100.
Can you make 200?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So you could have a good year, make 200 grand.
Yeah, totally.
And you travel. How many days a week you got to travel?
I'm usually on the road 4 days a week.
Okay.
I'm trying to do it less. I'm trying to only go out maybe 1 or 2 weeks a month.
Right.
But
the bigger you get, if you do a couple more of these Comedy Central
then
things,
you get to do a theater.
Right. And then suddenly the world is your oyster.
Oh, you have a private jet. There is no road. You get to fly home, sleep in your own bed.
You'll never drive
have
yourself
sex with
again.
your own wife.
So what's the goal? You want to be the world's greatest stand-up?
No.
You just want to make a living being a stand-up. You want to get more acting work.
Yeah, I want to develop. I want to make...
What's the best acting job you've had?
I just did a movie with Steve Carell.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's called Seeking a Friend for the End of the World.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, and I'm developing a show with Comedy Central, and CBS just bought a pilot.
Oh, very nice.
I'm making moves, and I'm going to be on this show that's on Adult Swim called Delocated, and it's the funniest show I've ever seen.
So this is it for you. You're on your way.
I'm trying. I want to just, like, you know, like, what do you think? Don't you just have to keep making it interesting and fun for yourself?
Yes, you do. You
Right?
do. Yeah,
That's
otherwise
it.
you go insane. Let's go to Rick. We're on with Amy Schumer. Her album Cutting is available now on iTunes. Are you referring to the fact that you cut yourself or something?
That my cousin did. Yeah, my sister did.
Your sister was a cutter?
Well, that's what the joke is on the album.
Oh, that's funny. What?
Yeah, well, the way I get off stage is I say, I'll leave you with this. My little sister, used to cut herself. And then I put the mic in the mic stand and I leave.
And that's the joke.
That's the end of my set. After I spend an hour with these people, I leave them with nothing.
Is that a reality or is that a joke?
It's a joke.
It's a joke. I'm not clear, but I won't press you.
No,
on that.
my sister's a school psychologist doing really well.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. All right. Well, that's what happens. If you do cut yourself, you become a psychologist. Rick, go ahead in Pittsburgh.
Hey, thanks, King. Amy, were you spanked growing up, and do you think you still deserve a spanking for all that shoplifting you did?
Well, thank you for asking that.
All right, that's
Richard.
but it is an interesting question. You know
I
what?
was spanked growing up.
And fully nude?
Yeah, and once in a while a finger would slip in, and I'd be like, "Wait, is this punishment or not?"
Who was spanking you? Your
Mom
dad?
spanked me.
Your
Dad
mom.
spanked me once because Mom made him, and he cried the whole time.
But they didn't
which
make
was
you,
really awkward.
Did they make you pull down your pants and get spanked?
I don't remember being ass out. Luckily, I was at an age where but I like totally had it coming. If they hadn't spanked me,
She remembers.
I
What about
loved
that
every
sexual?
second of
Because
it.
I find you a very intelligent woman,
Thank you.
a very bright, sexy woman. But I could see where a guy gets intimidated because let's say we get in bed and then I want to spank you or
Yeah.
something like that. I would think, oh, she's going to think this is funny. She's going to make jokes about it. I mean,
I
the guys,
am no jokes in the bedroom.
you are able to
I am
turn
dirty,
it
and I am no jokes in the bedroom.
off. What does it mean you're dirty?
I like having fun in
Not
bed.
anal.
I've never had
You
anal.
talk dirty?
Yeah.
Oh,
you do?
I like being talked to. I like talking. But I dated a guy.
Yeah.
The last guy I dated, he needed, like, the sex got really weird really fast. Which I guess it has to. Because if you don't enter that stuff in early, like, after 5 years and you're like,
It's hard to put
will
it
you
in,
wear this
yeah.
rice patty hat? You'll be like, where is this coming from? But, so it got to a place where he wanted to watch me watch porn every time, and he needed me to talk constantly about things I'd done.
Oh.
So at a certain point, like, I ran out of shit. Like, I started lying, and then he
Because
started.
you're not that sexually experienced. I mean,
Well,
there's only so many experiences.
There's
you
only
got.
so much I've done.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm like making up stories. And then he started like fact checking. He'd be like, wait, you said, I'm like, fuck you. I haven't had a new story for like a year.
Right.
It was exhausting.
Tell me the time that girl came on to you.
Yeah.
And,
I'm like,
right.
do you really think any of this happened? It's like
some
whenever I
point-
start dating a guy, I always pretend like maybe I'm like, I don't know, I've thought about a threesome, but. And then 6 months in, I'm like, I'm not doing that.
At
That's
some
weird.
point, I mean, at some point, it
You just got to like having sex,
it can
right?
get it can get exactly.
Yeah,
it can get
like, what about
weird.
just fucking each other?
Yeah, doesn't it
What
feel
happened
good enough being
What
inside of
happened
me?
to penetration?
Yeah.
Come
Do you need
on.
a lot of foreplay?
Not a lot.
Right.
I like
If a guy spanks you, you don't think that's weird though, right? You're
No.
okay with you're down with it.
I'm more than down with it.
Right. Oral
Yeah.
sex okay with you both ways?
Totally.
You're all right with it.
Huge fan.
Unless you're not circumcised.
Yeah, in which case, get out of here.
Gunplay.
Gunplay,
squeak-
man, only on
you-
the high holy days.
Shoot you in the foot, maybe, with my gun? All right. Let's go to Bill. Bill says he wants to say hi to Amy Schumer, the new album Cutting, available on iTunes. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, Howard. Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Hey, Amy. How you doing?
Hi, Bill.
I really love you.
Thank you.
All right, I don't think we're going anywhere with this. Nick, let's go to Nick in Charleston, West Virginia. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard, I just want to get your opinion. Don't you think she's 10 times hotter and funnier than Whitney Cummings?
Well, what about that? Are you, because you...
Are
sort
you
of,
hotter
because,
than Whitney?
yeah, first of all, yeah,
No.
are you hotter than Whitney Cummings?
That's a definitive no.
Are you friends with Whitney Cummings?
Yeah.
Okay. I like Whitney very much.
Me too.
Now, because you're a female comic, it's almost like,
Eddie Murphy was talking about this. He was the black comic for a while. He was like, there was no room for two.
Yeah.
It's like you sat in, Whitney wasn't on the comedy roast. Now, are you being compared to Whitney now? Is it like a competition?
I haven't, no one has said that to me. But I think there's room for all of us, for real.
I would think so.
And I don't know how other people feel, but when I see a funny woman, I'm like, yes, like, trust me, I don't want to be the one. I think women are hilarious. So at Whitney, there's no sense of competition.
Whitney's very funny.
She's motivated. Like,
Are you a
she's
Sarah
great.
Silverman fan?
Yeah, totally.
Are you a Sandra Bernhard fan?
Yes.
You like you root for other comics.
Hell yeah,
Rosie
absolutely.
O'Donnell, you enjoy
I
her?
do.
Yeah.
I do. No,
Ellen DeGeneres, you like her?
Yeah.
You do. So you like,
she had me on her show. I was the first female comic. She had me on her show.
do you know her personally?
Just from her, her getting me on the show. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to
Howard, can I throw in one more thing?
Yes.
Whitney, or I'm sorry, Whitney.
Amy.
You can call me whatever you want, Bill. Oh, Bill's gone.
Nick,
this is West Virginia.
Nick, go ahead.
I have masturbated to those pictures of you online many times.
What pictures?
Thank you.
What pictures?
I posed naked in Cosmo.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to...
Sexiest thing I've ever seen.
Is that
Thank
true?
you. Yeah.
You were nude?
Yeah,
No hang-ups,
I shot
huh?
at the Comedy Cellar.
You have big breasts now.
Thanks.
Look at, what are you, like a C?
Yeah.
I'm going to say you're a C cup. No inhibition about that.
No, I'm like, I better do it now while everything is still kind of where it's supposed to be.
Did anybody say to you, like an agent or anything, like, listen, Amy, don't do this?
Yeah, and I was like, bye. I'm doing this.
And what'd your mom say about this?
She was at the shoot.
She was there.
She was watching the door. We did it at the Comedy Cellar, and she was making sure no beer deliveries came in while I was...
You showed the vagina?
No.
Just the titties?
Yeah.
What'd you do with the
I
vagina?
was just in underwear. I mean, they were like, will you take off your panties? And I was like, okay. And my mom was like, no.
No, you
I was
pay
like,
for that.
Oh, yeah. I was like, okay.
No kidding.
No, yeah.
I have to see this.
Check it out.
Oh, you are free.
Hey, thanks, Howard.
Why did you bring your mom to a nude shoot?
I don't know. I think,
I wouldn't feel sexy in front of my mom.
I didn't mind it. I guess that is pretty boundaryless and disgusting, but I felt fine. Because it wasn't about, it's Cosmo, so, I mean, I wanted to feel sexy, but
Was
it was
your mom
more,
naked too, just to support
everyone
you?
was naked.
Beautiful,
Her boobs were on the floor, running around.
Wow.
No, it was, there's one of them.
Look at you, naked. Oh.
Smug over the shoulder shot. Yeah, it was like about the article I wrote to go along with it. They gave me like 6 pages. Like they've been very cool to me. Kate White, the editor in chief, there is the coolest woman ever.
You look so cute there.
Thank you. Yeah, they chose like a little cute one. I was like, can we use the ones where I look dirty? And they were like, no.
But no nips. You don't see any nipple.
No. Well, I have some. I don't know if there are any online where you see nipple, but there were some where you saw more.
Yeah, and you have a good body image. In other words, you don't sit there all day like these women and obsess. Oh, I've got to lose 5 pounds. I got to gain 10 pounds. You're not freaked out.
I
by
mean,
that.
I'll have days where I'm like, oh my God, what happened? But I feel like sexy. I feel like good. I work out. I take care of myself.
When you date a guy, do you walk around the house nude?
Not over like not annoying. I'm not
You're
like
not a
beside
nudist?
like opening
Okay.
pickles. But I'm naked a lot. I'm not hurrying to the bathroom, covering myself up.
All right, Abe, go ahead. You're on the air. You're on with Amy Schumer, and then I'll let you out of here. We've kept you locked up for an hour. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Hey, Howard. Hey, now.
Hey, Abe.
Amy, just a question and a comment.
Okay.
Number one, what is it you do for a living? And number two, I'm looking forward to seeing you appear on a carton of milk.
Okay.
What does that mean? That's an insult.
He's
He wants
insulting
me
her.
to be.
Yeah.
He wants me to be.
I saw
stolen.
you on the Charlie Sheen roast. I didn't think you were funny at all.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
You're-
She was so funny.
Oh, yeah. Her joke about...
What about her talking about her dad? How much darker does this get?
Oh, yeah, the joke that she made about Steve-O's buddy...
That was not a
you're
bad joke.
upset about that.
Well, let's talk about it. I
Go
mean,
ahead.
let's talk about it. What made you upset about me saying that joke? Let's talk about
I thought
it.
it was tasteless.
It hurt your feelings. You thought it was too
No, it
soon.
didn't hurt my feelings. I just really thought it was tasteless.
Okay, you're completely entitled to feel that way. I didn't say it with any malintent. I didn't think that it was going to hurt anyone's feelings, but I understand you feeling that way. That's okay.
Okay. I mean, I'll tell you that. You're cute as hell. I'd love to bang you.
Thank you.
Well,
that
hey,
means the
that's
world.
nice.
That's something.
That means the world.
By the way, I
Thank
should
you.
tell you, this guy is Anthony Jeselnik, the guy you date. Yeah, so go ahead, Pat. Pat, you're on
Hey, how you doing, Howard?
Hey, now.
Amy, you were on a roast a while ago, and you did a joke about leg braces. It was the funniest thing. And
Oh, thanks.
What one
I
was
think
that?
you're
Well, I
the
just
greatest
said-
comedian. and I'm glad you're getting, the recognition you deserve. And Howard, I love you, 20-year listener plus.
Thanks, Pat.
And thanks for getting me through every day.
All right, Pat. Thank
you.
What was the joke
I just
that Pat's
said
talking
I
about?
wasn't a good-looking kid, but then the old story, I finally got the braces off of my legs, and that's it. But that's really nice.
Well, Amy, I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
It was great having you here.
Thank you for having me here. This
the
is a
album
dream.
is called Cutting. I enjoyed your performance on Charlie Sheen Roast,
Thank
and I
you.
wanted to meet you, and I'm glad you came in. I think you're great.
Thank you.
Amy Schumer's album Cutting is available now on iTunes. Don't miss Amy November 5th at the Varsity Theater in Minneapolis. It's going to be a big show.
Well, there's a theater.
Big
All right.
show.
You sell your own merchandise after the show?
Yes, it's the worst.
Is that the most embarrassing part of being a comedian nowadays?
It's like the red light district.
In other words, you get off the
You're
show.
up on the stage.
I mean, you're on the stage, you're the big star, and then you what? You walk to the back of the club.
Peddling my wares.
And you
It's so
stand there-
humiliating.
Can you get someone to maybe do that for you, or
Yeah, but then, then
what
it's-
items do you have that you sell?
Oh, I just sell a CD.
Just a CD? No T-shirts?
CD, my hypercolor T-shirts, my
Your clothing line?
boxers. Yeah, no, I've got
so
nothing else.
you have a booth. You set up a little booth,
They'll have like some table, and they'll just have my CDs there waiting for me.
and you'll sit there.
And I sign it. Yeah.
And do you bring change and things with you so you can?
I'm the worst.
Yeah.
Like when I did the last Comic Standing tour, I sold a CD that I would just burn on my computer, and I would sell it for $5. And sometimes I wouldn't have any more CDs, so I would sell like the cookies that they left in the green room. But
That's
no,
funny.
I'm not good at marketing myself.
Is it worth how much extra money can you make a night? Is it worth the humiliation of sitting there and having to sell your own CD?
I can make an extra $700 a weekend,
Oh, wow.
and that's a lot. That's a lot of money for me.
That's big money.
But it really doesn't feel worth it. It is a horrifying, embarrassing thing.
Do you bring your own credit card machine? I mean, how does it work financially? Like, how do you
No.
like? Let's say someone
I'm
buys.
standing there.
If someone buys, I don't know how much a CD is. How much is $20?
Yeah.
And they say, "Look, I have 100. Can you break it?"
I'll say no. Can you go to the bar? Sometimes
see.
people be like, I have to go to an ATM, and then they leave their date there with me, and they're like, "So, where do you go next?" And I'm like, "I want to kill myself."
Now you've got to
I wanna-
entertain this person.
It's because you've just expended so much energy. You know, you put so much of yourself into it. The last thing you want to do when you leave is that, so right after the show, I have to be
Also,
like tap dancing.
I would think, to build up your star quality, to see after you've killed on stage and you've done your thing, to be sitting there hawking your wares, so to speak.
It's not good.
Wouldn't it be good if the club could just provide someone for all the comics that would sell? I guess you can.
But then people feel like it's mean, and they want a picture, and they want to meet you. So it's like,
Right.
okay,
All right.
let me do that. These people came out, they spent their weekend night with me. But I don't know. Sometimes it wouldn't be as hard if people didn't have
Believe
all
me,
the backhanded compliments.
After my show, I stand in the serious lobby. I'm selling CDs too. Amy Schumer's album Cutting is available now on iTunes. And by the way, for all things Amy, go to amyschumer.com. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you
Amy.
so much.
That was fun.
Thank you so much.
I had a good time. I
Oh
hope you
man,
did.
so did I. Thank you
Great
so
meeting
much.
you.
Amazing meeting you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
a lot of fun.
Thanks a lot.
You're so funny.
Ooh, thank you.
I get the. I used to get the. Hey man, your teeth aren't that big, and I'd be like, thanks.
Yeah, you're like, oh wow, that's so nice.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Amy, I knew the whole time you were
You
doing
knew I was
that
gonna say
great
that?
adventure story. I was only there twice. I was like, this is gonna be it.
But we were so excited. But I was just like, we were like, hey, what? Oh, we were excited, and we have the picture because we sat right behind you. So there's a picture of us with you on the screen
that's
machine.
hysterical.
Yeah, it was really
My
ridiculous.
goodness. Well, you were great.
Thank
I love
you.
the roast
Thank
stuff.
you.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
You too. Thank you so
Okay.
much for having me.
Amy, well done
Hi.
today.
Yeah, was it good?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Usually, you can sort of gauge it, I think, by how long you're in the studio for.
Oh, do some people go in and out?
Yeah.
But that was good though.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, good.
A nice slow roast, an hour.
An hour.
So really cooked in there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm glad that there was one caller that was mad because it was like, okay, good, so it's not all just fun and games. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you got the full Stern Show experience.
Yeah.
Now, why is coming here like the mecca for comedians? Because Howard's not a stand-up guy.
I think just because he's so honest, he doesn't blow any smoke. So, if he likes you, he really likes you. He doesn't need to pretend.
Right, so he's not shticky like some terrible comedian.
Yeah, he doesn't need anything from anybody. So it really comes just from a place of him enjoying what you do. So it's like the biggest compliment.
Cool. And I look forward to your next appearance, and hopefully we can talk more about uncircumcised Frenchmen.
Yeah, let's get back to that.
Yeah, I wanted to know more.
Let's get back to the rape.
Casey's on the phone. You remember Casey? He used to work here.
Oh, Casey Armstrong?
Yeah, Casey Armstrong. He's doing very well.
Always love to hear from Casey.
Yes, Casey.
Howard.
Hey, man.
Hey, brother. How you doing, man?
What's happening?
Hey, listen to me. I got this thing on demand. They put it on, like, the Cablevision.
Yeah.
And, you guys had an episode where all you guys took your shirts off, and I have made critiques on each one.
Did we do that? When did we do that?
When was that?
It must have been older.
No, it wasn't. It was after I left. It was. It must have been like a year ago or something like that. I don't know.
I don't remember that.
Didn't you leave
Hey, Robin,
like
how are
10
you?
years
You're
ago?
very sexy.
After he left. Yeah, okay, go ahead real quick, because I got to get the news.
Okay, ready? All right, here we go. I'm doing it quick. Howard, first of all, I'll start with positive, all right? You have a good back.
Right.
Your back is nice.
Thank you.
But you got cow nipples. You have huge nipples.
Me?
Yeah. Did you
No,
know
I
that?
don't. I have a nice chest.
Yeah, no, but your nipples are huge. They're like cow udders.
No, you got the wrong guy, man.
No, dude, your nipples are big, and Sal has big nipples, too.
Really? Gee, I never thought of myself
I
as big.
didn't think
I
about
always
that.
see myself as a small nipple. Are you sure you were looking at me?
I'm positive.
Maybe my nipples don't photograph well.
They photograph big.
Yeah, because I kind of have small ones.
No, you have big nipples.
By the way, is Casey gay or what?
Yeah, what are you doing? Evaluating their bodies.
No guy ever looked at my nipples before.
And came away with that.
I might be a gay. I don't know. But, but I can tell you something. Fred is looking amazing.
Right.
No, he's jacked up. He's got he's got a great chest. He's got good arms.
Right.
Right? I mean,
Wow.
he's like intimidating this guy.
This is so weird, this call, isn't it? This is a weird call, Casey, but go ahead.
No, it's a good call. He complimented me.
Well, yeah, okay, but still, it's weird.
But all right, I'm going through it. Richard, he actually has a good. He looks like a lumberjack. You know what I mean? But he has a huge gut.
No, he's super ripped now.
He got thin.
He's thin and ripped.
No, he doesn't look that bad. Well, I guess it might have been a while ago.
Yeah, it was.
Sal has a lot of fat deposits on the side of his chest.
Right.
And he has good vascularity in his shoulders.
Do you care, Robin?
This is ridiculous.
What the hell?
I gotta tell you, I'm as baffled as you.
Yeah, I'm freaked out, dude. Anybody else you want to talk about? Hey, man, how about the last time I saw you? You look bloated. So what's up with that?
Steroids?
Was it juice?
Yeah, man.
You still doing that?
Water.
You're still doing juice?
I'm 185 right now.
185 means you're big or small?
Dude, when you saw me, I was probably 230.
Oh, wow.
It's either that or AIDS. I'm not sure.
Anybody else? Any other guys you want to talk about, like Benji or anything?
Yeah,
Who else took their shirt off?
Cockstrong.
What?
He looks cockstrong.
Benji?
Yeah,
What
he
does
looks
that mean?
cockstrong. But he's like Cabby. Remember Cabby was big and he looked kind of intimidating, but it wasn't like he couldn't do nothing with it. Benji he could do well, but he has small nipples.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm out of my mind, Howard.
I think so.
What happened to you?
Case, would I be
I don't
better
know,
with bigger
brother.
nipples?
I was talking about Jason. I like the guy. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's great, but I'm worried about the guy.
Right.
I mean, really.
How are his nipples?
Cholesterol. I got high cholesterol. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Are you okay?
No.
What's wrong?
Just had a little panic attack. All good.
You having a panic attack?
Yes.
What just happened?
I don't know. Hey, do you like Lamb of God?
What?
What?
Nice.
What?
I don't know. Hey.
What's going on, man?
Yikes.
You all right, man?
No.
What's going on?
What can we do?
Talk to me. Casey.
I'm on the Librium.
What are you on?
Librium.
Librium.
What is that?
It's a drug.
What does it do?
It's for the DTs.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, are you an alcoholic?
Oh, yeah, you know that.
I didn't realize it was that bad. So when you get withdrawals, you...
Where are you calling us from?
I'm from I'm watching my friend's dog.
You homeless?
No.
Oh.
And who put you on Librium?
the emergency room.
Wow.
God, this guy had the world by the balls.
How did you wind up in the you wound up in the emergency room so drunk?
Have you? No. It was days after. Have you ever seen Leaving Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I normally don't like Nicolas Cage, but he's amazing.
Is that your life?
Yes.
Are you getting any help? Are you talking to anyone?
I'm talking to you.
No, but I mean, are you talking to any psychiatrists or anything?
Yeah. I've been to about 20 of them.
Yeah. What do they say your problem is? Your dad?
There's a whole bunch of terms that they give.
You got problems. You got a diagnosis?
What they say, was it borderline?
Borderline schizo? Or just borderline personality?
They say borderline.
Borderline personality.
And then bipolars.
Yeah.
And Benji is cockstrong.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Hey.
Jeez, Casey.
Casey, you ought to go on that drug Penisin.
That's like the, what is that?
Penisin?
Penisin?
Yeah.
Nice, I like it. Hey.
So they went to the hospital. You get hallucinating when you try to withdraw from alcohol. Did you stop drinking?
No.
So you're drinking with the Librium.
I'm on the stuff and then I keep drinking.
Yeah. Wow. Dude.
What are you? I mean, thanks for calling.
Dude.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Dude.
Anything you want to promote real quick?
No, not at all. I'm actually going to L.A. in 2 days.
What?
I'm going back to L.A. in 2 days.
Where are you now?
I'm in New York.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm back in New York.
Don't come in here.
You're not going to invite him down?
No.
Dude.
Hey, is Benji cockstrong? Case, is Benji cockstrong?
I think Benji is cockstrong. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah.
And you have big nipples.
I do miss Casey. He was fun when he worked here.
He was amazing and
but he just went crazy.
Very, very concerned.
Yeah. Sorry to hear all these problems, dude. You had the world by the balls. You know.
So
this is one of the best looking guys ever.
Did the doctors put you on the Librium here?
What? I'm very happy.
Did you fuck any more trannies?
You know, that hurts, Howard. And not
That's
really
the
gonna
only
respond to
thing?
that.
You're not?
Oh, jeez.
What is this coughing thing?
I don't know.
Do you still go to the gym even though you drink like a fish?
Yeah, I'm dude, I'm ripped.
Really?
Have you got
185.
Are you talking to your mother? Have you seen her?
Love her.
Good. Okay.
Right.
And what does she say about all this?
Well, she does the best that she can, and but I make my own decisions.
Sure. You're making some great decisions.
Hey, did I mention that Benji is cockstrong?
All right. Hey, listen, Case.
It's good to hear from you.
Good hearing from you, my man. Wait a second. David Arquette wants to talk to you, okay?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me make sure I don't lose you. Go ahead, David.
Hey.
Hey, now.
What's up? How are you, Casey?
Hi, David. How are you, sir?
I'm good, buddy.
By the way, everyone has to vote for David Arquette.
We voted for you last week.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Yeah, and is Courtney going to stay home this week?
No.
Yeah, Susan's hot, bro.
Hey, man, but I was just hearing you, and, it sounds like you're going through a hard time.
I'm looking for a little bit of God's mercy.
Yeah, well, you're on the right track. I mean, you could do stuff to, get your stuff together. You just start facing some of the shit you're going through, really look at yourself. And there's ways of doing that, and there's places you could go to get some help.
Have you gone anywhere to get help, Casey?
Too many, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to go again.
Do you understand that they put me on this shit like 20 years ago, right? It was it was new, and now they don't know how to get people off it.
Casey,
Yeah.
what do you do you primarily drink, or are you into coke and all that shit?
No, I have narcolepsy.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
So they gave me Ritalin 20 years ago.
All right.
And
that's speed. You know, speed induces psychosis.
Yeah, I think it's kind of it might be what's happening now. But see, what happens is every time I go to rehab, they say you have to go cold turkey, and I won't do it because it's a horror and it's terrible. When I go to jail, that's what they do. It's the worst ever. I can't explain it.
How many times have you been in jail?
4 times.
4? And they make you go cold turkey, and what? You can't handle it?
Oh, dude, you have no idea. I can't explain to you how horrible it is.
So, but why do you go back on it once you go cold turkey and get through the horror of it?
But you can't because, look, I've been on it for 20 years, and the amount that I take, I should be dead.
How much Ritalin do you take a day?
It was 300 milligrams. Now it's 200, and the overdose is 80, I believe.
Wow. Hey, David.
Yeah.
He's hardcore, huh?
Yeah, but, you know, a lot of that stuff is that people, like, medicate so much to, you know, I mean, some of that is necessary when you have certain conditions. But like
David, what were you doing? David.
Go on like get involved with his thing. As crazy as some people might think, he does have results with people that really want it. And
what, Dr. Drew?
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is also not coming to terms with who you are and just getting real with yourself and answering some of the hard questions, forgiving yourself for some of the shit that you've done, sort of like starting over, you know, dealing with the past, cleaning up the past, and then going ahead. And
were you as bad as him, David?
I had different problems. I mean, everyone's got their own issues. But
you were primarily drinking, right?
Come on.
You were primarily drinking, right?
Primarily drinking, but, you know, when I was younger, I had drug problems, and when I, you know, had this last thing, I did ecstasy a couple times and mushrooms and shit like that.
Are you in any condition to really be giving Casey advice? I mean, you're sober and everything?
Oh, yeah. I'm almost 10 months sober.
Okay. What do you think of that, Casey?
For me, it's like a real, like...
No, I was sober.
What?
I was sober, and I hated it. It was worse than this.
What are you talking about?
He wants to be a drunk.
He never was sober. When were you sober?
I went to rehab. Don't you remember? I went there. I was sober for 4 months.
And you hated it?
I hated it. It was the worst possible thing ever.
Oh, my.
Did you do anything to, like, you know, try to, like, face... See, part of it's, like, you get all these feelings back, and it becomes really difficult. And then you have to, like, get some sort of tools to be able to deal with those feelings.
You hear what he's saying? Casey, how much are you drinking a day?
Dude, you know what I want to do? I'm like a bottom. Like at one point,
you're a bottom. I knew it.
Always suspected.
You know, with the gay stuff. For 1 minute, we're talking serious now.
Okay.
Yes. Well, all right. We are joking.
Just tell me, how much are you drinking a day?
About 20 to 30 shots.
A day?
Yep.
20 to 30 shots a day. David, did you drink that much?
Not really, no.
Wow. Casey's hardcore, huh?
Yeah.
And you'll never see me drunk, ever.
Congratulations. I mean, 20, 30 shots a day, and they never see you drunk.
You'll never see you drunk. We see you drunk.
You're one of the greatest alcoholics of all time.
Bukowski said everything shits and then it dies. So what do you think of that?
I think you're fucked. I think you got to get into some rehab, dude. That's what David's giving you good advice.
And you don't just get sober, as David says, you have to start working on all the things that make you want to get drunk.
Yeah, that's the thing. You do a lot of this stuff to numb yourself. I mean, there's certain stuff within your chemical balance that, you know, they probably could figure out a better, you know, system for you. I don't take anything personally, and when I went into rehab, I refused any kind of, like, the stuff that they give you there to kind of wean you off and all that stuff, but
bro, they won't, though. That's my problem, because...
Well, you probably would need some kind of program to, like, you know, put little... medications together to just keep you stable. And
you know what's crazy? KC has such discipline with his eating and with his gym and with all that.
But it doesn't matter.
And then you would even think, with all that vanity and working out and stuff, he would, like, lay off the sauce.
No, I'll go to the gym hammered.
Wow.
It doesn't matter. But here's the problem. David, you probably know what I'm talking about. What they're going to do, every time I go to the rehab, I've been there a bunch of times, and I usually end up telling them to go fuck themselves, because
what they say is you have to go cold turkey. They don't wean you off. They have nothing to give you. So there's no way out.
Oh, dude, you could do it. You're a strong young guy. You could get off it.
Howard, I can't explain to you.
All right, so it's uncomfortable. You just do it.
It's not uncomfortable. It's dementia. What happens is you think that you're gonna die and that nobody can.
But how long does that last? A couple of days?
No, it lasts until you start taking the shit again.
Oh.
It depends on the rehab you're going to. That's why I think like Dr. Drew's got a solid like group of doctors and things going on. Like they know how to address that if you have any mental issues that you need sort of mood stabilizing stuff. But some of the other stuff that you're probably overdoing is probably, you know, making you.
Did I just hear a clown horn?
I was going to say, that's perfect, David, while you're giving advice.
Well, David, that's David's technique. He entertains you.
I've seen him, and it looks like he knows what he's talking about. But
he knows.
Even if I went to him, they would say, look, you stop this cold turkey. This is what it says in the book, because they have no idea what the fuck to do with it, because it's so new. They have no idea what this shit does to you.
Yeah. All right, look, we're not going to get this solved now. Casey, get yourself to fucking rehab. Go to Dr. Drew or somebody.
Yeah, don't go back to L.A.
Yeah.
Go to rehab.
Just start getting honest with yourself. And then, you know, try to, like, get just move in a better place.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? The only thing that this has given me is make me become an amazing actor.
Nice.
All right. Listen, Casey, I got to go. Hey, David, I got to go. I got to go do the news.
Guys.
All right, later.
We will be watching you tonight on Dancing with the Stars.
Thank you. All the best, Casey.
Am I going to see you tomorrow or something?
I'm coming in next week. So
next week, okay.
I'm coming into town. So.
All right, good. I'll see you next week, David. Casey, take care of yourself, will you, pal? Really, get off that shit. You got the discipline to do it. It's enough.
I'm going to L.A. and
it's unattractive.
I'm going to pose nude, and my mom is coming, and she's going to put her hand over my private parts, like Amy.
All right. Listen, go get some help. I mean it. Stop the nonsense. You can get off that shit. You know, you're going to get big tits like me if you don't calm down.
No, just nipples. Your chest is good. It's the nipples.
All right, Case. Thank you.
Did I mention Benji's Cockstrong?
And thanks to David Arquette for calling in and trying to help Casey. Goodbye.
Guys, bye.
Very depressing.
God damn it.
What, Casey?
That was...
It was bad?
What?
Hello? Oh, he's gone.
Now he's going to beat himself up for a bad appearance.
It was a great appearance, but I'm worried about the guy. I like him. Yeah, Ralphie, go ahead.
Hey now.
Hey now.
That really was the most bizarre call from Casey. You're talking about a bit you did 2 years ago.
I know.
Current. But, you know, I just think it's funny when you guys always talk about Casey, you, Robin, and everybody. It's like, oh, my God, what a shame, what a shame. And it's just because he's good looking. I mean, if he wasn't good looking, nobody would really care.
Yeah, you know, in a way, you're right.
You're absolutely right. If he was a mess, we'd expect this to happen.
Expect that. It's like, wow, he's good looking.
The weird thing with Casey is the guy works out so intensely, and not only that, he looks like a supermodel. And it's like, wow, how could a guy that disciplined and that into his look be into that drinking and everything?
You're thinking of Casey, you know, when he used to work there. I don't think he, you know,
he's been that guy.
Yeah, I think he's got some miles on him now.
Oh yeah, he's not looking that good.
Well, you said like when you saw him last time, he's bloated. He
was a little scary. Yeah.
Yeah, he's frightening.
I hope he pulls it together. Good looking or not. I mean, I did like the guy. You know, the guy worked with me so many years. He's a good dude.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It doesn't seem he's been trying to pull it together for a while. I don't think that's going to happen.
And Ralph, can you defend my nipples? I don't think they're overly big.
No, that was kind of strange. No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
I just had to start laughing in the middle because I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I know. It was weird.
Hey, I want to talk about your bodies.
We weren't looking for any feedback. All right, thank you.
Benji is cockstrong.
What's that, Casey?
Benji is cockstrong.
Right.
Way to get that drop right away.
Right.
You have big nipples.
What do you think of Ralph, Casey?
He didn't say anything about Ralph.
Well, you could have just said he has big nipples.
Yeah, come on.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Actually, people have said that about me, so.
All right. Thank you, Ralph.
Goodbye.
Ralph actually does have big nipples.
He does?
You have big nipples.
You're right, Casey.
Robin, like Howard, you saw Casey go from, I guess, sort of like an intern
to an employee, yeah.
Right, and a full-time one at that.
Yeah.
how much does it bum you out when he checks in?
It makes me very sad because one of the reasons Casey is not with us is because his behavior had become so erratic. He couldn't work here anymore. And, we hoped that the fact that he couldn't be on the show would be a wake-up call and he'd pull himself together. And obviously that hasn't happened.
Seems safe to say that Casey spiraled out of control. Not only since leaving the Stern Show, but it seems like the last couple of years. How do you decipher what's real and what's shtick and what's looking for a plug and all that?
I don't know. I mean, he wasn't really plugging anything today, and I thought he sounded pretty legitimate. Casey's got a little sense of theater too, so sometimes he fucks with us. He could be a little messed up, but he likes to fuck with us too because he gets he understands the concept of the entertainment. But today, he wasn't really plugging anything, and I was a little worried about him today, I have to say.
Equally as important, does Howard have oversized nipples?
I never looked at Howard's nipples, and I'm never going to look at him again. I'll go home and look at my private parts poster and see what I can ascertain. Richard comes to me and tells me, "Oh, did you get snow inside?" I'm like, "Yeah." So him and Kristen went up way upstate New York to go get their makeup done for a party they were doing in the city. Like, they literally traveled far. They get up there, they get dropped over the train. It's snowing like crazy, right? No trains are coming. So they're calling this, they're calling that. So he's the idiot that calls 911.
Oh,
I said, "Why didn't you call the local I go, "What town are we in?" He goes, "Mayapack." I go, "Why didn't you call the Mayapack police?" He goes, "I don't know. We don't."
They called 911. You're lucky they didn't get arrested.
No.
Why did they call 911? I don't
Because
understand.
they were at the train station. It was snowing really hard, and no trains were coming. They called every cab company. They called the MTA. Unbeknownst to them, MTA had been shut down. They didn't know that.
1 minute.
So they were stuck, and they couldn't get home. So I said to him, "Why didn't you call the local police?" And he goes, "I didn't think of that." So I don't know what happened when he called 911, but the other funny thing is, this is so they could do this. That's the funniest part. That's so they traveled like an hour upstate to do that, to come back into the city to go to a party or something. He said they stayed in Sleepy Hollow.
Well, your point is, these are the idiots who
Exactly.
stay on the beach in a hurricane. Like, you see it snowing.
Well, no, he got up there, and then it started to snow. I'm not saying that. I'm saying...
But he
the
knew
snow
the
came
bad
in-
weather was coming.
No, but what I am saying is, 911 is for emergencies, not because the train
Not because you
didn't
went
come.
trick-or-treating.
Not because the train didn't come.
Trying to get your werewolf man.
Excuse me now, I can't get a lift to the Halloween party.
I need my makeup.
Robin, anything else in the news?
Halloween is tonight, and it's a fun holiday for kids, but parents need to remember a few tips to keep their kids safe. Janet Brooks with Safe Kids Utah urges safety on the streets, asking drivers to be especially mindful of trick-or-treaters crossing the road.
I can't believe anybody lets their kids trick-or-treat anymore. It's so fucking dangerous.
Yeah, do those masks still work so poorly that you really can't see anything when
You can't
you're
see a
out
thing.
there in
You
your
have no peripheral
costume?
vision. It's awful.
Really, you are sort of like a sitting duck on the road.
Yeah.
Other tips for parents to follow are to make sure costumes are flame resistant, fit properly to prevent tripping, and to use reflective tape on both the outfits and treat bags so kids can be seen. Parents should also check over all treats for any signs of tampering before letting their kids eat them.
A flame-resistant costume. Most people don't go to the store and buy, they just like dress up in like some clothes, and then you go to some asshole's house, you got a bunch of pumpkins with candles in them, and your kid's on fire. Stay home. There's a million things that are going to go wrong. It's inevitable.
I think a lot of people have gone to parties because you can't trust
Right.
to have your kids out there on the road.
I like flame-resistant costume. Make sure your child's in a flame-resistant. I'll put him in an asbestos outfit. I mean, what are you doing already with this Halloween? It's enough.
I know. When you've got to take all those precautions, isn't it a sign that maybe we shouldn't be doing this?
And Richard's so fucking retarded that, I went into his office to take some photographs of him the other day, and he's got, pumpkin candles burning and pumpkin shit hanging up in the office.
Right, he's the very one who's going to light a kid on fire.
Yeah. Less pumpkins and more work back there.
By the way, he said he was going to get a pumpkin scrub this weekend. You know, he even does the whole spa thing.
That's nothing. He
with pumpkins.
So Richard, I guess, goes to a party every year, so he gets professional makeup done. But, of course, he lives in New York, and there's no one who can do his professional makeup. He has to go to, like, fucking Poughkeepsie or something. I don't know, or somewhere upstate New York.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then so it was snowing. You know, they were calling for snow on Saturday.
Right.
So him and his wife get on the train, and they go all the way upstate to get that stupid makeup that they get.
Uh-huh.
And then he gets caught. None of the trains are running because it's snowing so bad.
So he's stuck.
He's stuck. He called 911.
Stop it.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. He called 911 for a ride or something, or he didn't know what to do.
Oh, my goodness. He's as bad as that guy I just played.
Yeah, but he's like those retards who go, like people who stay in Miami Beach on the ocean, and they say you have to evacuate, and then they stay, then you have to go rescue them. He knows it's going to snow.
There's no reason to rescue him from Poughkeepsie. Find a hotel room.
Of course. Richard, where did you go to get your makeup? Like, this is, by the way, he's 40-something years old. This was what all the fuss was about, so he could look like this.
That isn't even that good.
I mean, the makeup's not even that great. I mean, it's fine.
It's okay, but who cares? You can get that done. You can do it yourself.
Hey, that's the most important. It's the most important day of the year for me.
Where did you go to get the makeup?
Mayo Pack. It's like in Westchester.
And you what? The snow came down so heavily you couldn't get a train.
Yeah,
you called 911.
Well, we got dropped off at the train station in full makeup. We looked crazy.
Yeah.
And we waited for about 2 hours for the Metro North, and then there was a big announcement: all train service suspended. And we thought it was going to be like the Donner Party, like we were going to have to start eating each other because we didn't know how to get out of there.
Dude, you're in Mayo Pack. It's not you know, like
there are
some
cabs.
remote.
There are all kinds of things.
We called every cab.
It was snowing too heavy.
Yeah, it was snow. They wouldn't even go leave to give us a ride to a hotel.
So what did 911 do?
They were going to send an MTA truck to pick us up.
And what happened?
Well, we finally got a hold of the makeup guy, and luckily his brother, thank God, had a four-wheel drive truck and was able to give us a ride to White Plains to catch the only train.
Believe this guy? For this stupid makeup.
How much do you pay for that?
And who are you supposed to be with that makeup? Who
the
is
Wolfman.
That? Oh, that's Wolfman?
Yeah.
Is that who you are?
And who's your wife, Little Red Riding Hood?
Yeah, she's like the victim, Little Red Riding Hood, after she was attacked.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Glad you told me.
It took us like 6 hours to get from there back to our home. We were exhausted.
How long does the makeup take?
A couple hours to do.
And what do you do with the makeup? Like
now you're all dressed up. Where do you go?
Yeah.
Well, we went to a costume party, but we were so exhausted from our ordeal that we only stayed for a little bit.
That's what I figured.
Like after all that, we were just too burned out.
Halloween got ruined.
There's nobody in New York who does makeup.
It's hard. It's hard to find people.
No, in Manhattan, no one does that.
Not this good. This is my buddy. He does this for movies.
Dude, Manhattan is got the greatest makeup artist in the world. I got to believe someone in Manhattan can do that.
Well, this guy today, he's doing Good Morning America's makeup.
Oh, yeah?
He's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet you they didn't go to see him in Mayo Pack.
What do you pay him for that?
I gave him like $140.
That's it?
That's the cash I had on me, but I'm going to send him some more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to send him the werewolf hands back, too. He loaned those to me.
Real good.
Yeah. He's awesome, though. He did a vampire movie called Stakeland that you guys should see. It's
I'll run
awesome.
that out. Okay.
Richard.
Yes?
Come on, man. You don't think you overreacted a little bit?
Well, we were worried. It was just us and 3 Mexican migrant workers at the station, and they didn't even speak English, so we didn't know what to do. We couldn't go anywhere.
Did you give them a ride to White Plains as well?
No.
Real
we
nice
didn't, because my friend came in a truck, and it's like it'd be too dangerous for them to ride in the back of the truck, so I think
You don't think a couple of migrant workers...
They were on the
been in
phone
back of
with
the truck
friends of
before?
theirs speaking Spanish, so I'm assuming they got a ride.
But really, you know that 911 is for actual emergencies. This doesn't constitute an emergency.
Well, we tried to call Metro North, and the line, nobody would answer. And somebody told us before they left the station, they said call 911. Or the cab company said call 911, and they'll send MTA out to get you guys. So we would have called MTA directly, but they wouldn't answer. So
All in the name of Halloween. So now that it's all over with, Halloween is today. Do you feel like you just missed out on a golden opportunity? You had this great makeup, you had a costume party to go to, but you were too burnt out by the time you...
Well, we still got to go at least. We could have been, had our own little two-person costume party at the train station that night and froze to death. So I'm glad we at least made the costume party.
But as far as your Halloween dreams go, I feel that they were sort of shattered.
Yeah, you know, Mother Nature can be a real bitch sometimes, and I'm very angry that she fucked up Halloween a little bit. And
fuck that. You almost got to worry about this.
Mother Nature, that bitch.
She is. She's a fickle bitch.
She could have had it snow on November 1st, and it would have been totally fine, but to do it before Halloween is unforgivable.
Kind of like waking up on Christmas morning and realizing you didn't get the toy you wanted.
Yeah, or like, you know, like this fucking Mother Nature, she always pisses me off. Last year, she fucked me over too, because she made a blizzard the day after Christmas. Not on Christmas. We couldn't have a white Christmas. She had it the day after. That's like saying to me, fuck you and your white Christmas. I'm going to make it white on December 26th.
What a biznatch.
She is a total... I love global warming. Fuck her. Fuck Mother Nature.
Great cans.
I'm going to go use a bunch of hairspray right now just to piss her off.
Hell of a body, though.
Yeah. I'm going to throw all my plastic in the garbage, not recycle. Fuck Al Gore. Fuck Mother Nature. Halloween rules.
How about throwing some of them soda rings into the ocean, too?
Exactly.
Catch a couple fish.
Get some dolphins' noses bound up by those fucking goddamn soda rings.
We're going to start eating tuna that isn't dolphin friendly.
Fuck yeah, I'm going to burn some rubber tires out in my yard, you know. Fuck Mother Nature, that bitch.
I'll learn that, broad.
I'll teach you, bitch.
I'll learn her well. I mean, good.
Teach you not to make it snow on my favorite fucking holiday, you fucking biatch.
You said it, sir. I think we all learned something from your ordeal today.
I think we learned that I'm an idiot.
And I am as well. Happy Halloween, sir.
Happy Halloween.
Jackie the Joke Man Martling was on Superfan Roundtable. Wow. I heard his interview. Mutt did a great interview with Jackie, and Jackie was just, again, talking about his contract negotiation and why he isn't with the show. And
this is hysterical.
I mean, look, they were asking him about it.
Yeah, but I mean...
But it's all it's so misguided.
Why would you even continue to talk about it?
See, if I play it, you're going to get all worked up, as I did when I heard it, but... Because you're going to start arguing with a piece of tape.
Well, work me up.
All right.
I love Jackie logic.
All right, but okay. I'll stop it when I need to correct something.
All right.
Or at least give my interpretation. You want to get worked up?
I know it's going to happen. I always think that I'm over it. But he'll get to me, I'm sure.
But you know what the funny thing is? We are over it. I don't spend any time in the day going,
ever thinking about it.
Jackie was back here, but you know what? It actually made me sad when I heard this because he's his own worst enemy. Because he still, to this day, doesn't understand what he did.
Thank God.
To his own career.
And thank God we don't take him back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because this would go on again.
It would. Robin... It's been 10 or 15 years. He hasn't learned a thing. It's so clear to me.
That's the beauty of Jackie.
He hasn't. I don't know if he's in therapy. I don't know what he does, but he has not figured it out. And that's my point. People don't change.
Well, some people do, but not Jackie.
Okay, fair enough. Here we go.
Well, Howard would say that you just didn't show up one day and left him hanging, and then you didn't have you.
By the way, just so Mutt knows, I would never say that.
There for months.
But every time that I was out negotiating.
Out negotiating.
You know, I said to Gary when I heard this, I called him up. I said, how is it that me, Robin, Fred, you, how is it we managed?
We all had to negotiate.
We all had to negotiate, whether it was with Mel directly or, through Don
or Tom, or whatever.
But how is it we all ended up never missing a day of work, even with our negotiations, quote unquote? Jackie always had to leave.
Yeah.
Sometimes for weeks. And to me, it always felt like, hey, I can walk away, you guys carry on, and when I'm done negotiating, just how did we all manage to get a contract without walking out the door?
But by the same token, it wasn't that he left us hanging.
Yeah.
It was that we didn't know he wasn't showing up.
Mutt said we'd get all worked up again when we heard this. He knows. He listens.
They did the same thing. And I've said this on the air
so
many millions of times,
but
nobody wants to hear it. I didn't do that. I would never have done that. For all anybody can break my balls, I'm a professional guy. We were trying to negotiate. Then my lawyer didn't hear back from Tom for 2 months. So we had a meeting with Tom, and we went in, and my lawyer said, listen.
First of all, they didn't hear back from Tom for 2 months because I was very aware of what was going on. He said, Jackie and your lawyer, this is the final offer. And it was a very, very healthy offer. More than I think most guys in radio would drop dead if they saw this offer. And they said, Jackie, this is it. Either you take it or leave it. We can't keep going on, or we have to move forward and find somebody new.
Now, I don't understand. Is he still working or is he not working?
He's not working.
Okay.
He's negotiating. So they told him that, and Jackie and his lawyer kind of laughed it off like, ha, 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 sure.
Okay, and did
2 months
they make
later,
some counteroffer?
No. 2 months later, 2 months later, it was over. In other words, Jackie was like, okay, I'll come back. And it was like, no, you don't understand. We meant it.
Oh, he took 2 months to think about it.
Yeah, 2 months.
It's over. We're totally at loggerheads. You guys aren't coming back at us. We're not going back. So this was on a Wednesday. He says, so Jackie's not going to come in on Monday. And Tom said, I think you're making a mistake. And Larry said, I think you're making a mistake.
Yep, who was
He
right?
said, all right, but he's not going to be there Monday. And I said, Tom.
Where's Larry now?
Now you make sure you tell Howard, make sure everybody knows.
But Howard says you didn't call him.
No, by the way, if I did say that, I don't care about
No.
Jackie calling me.
This is all getting confused.
Yeah.
Jackie did this every year for a number of years and never told us he was not coming in.
Right.
This last time, maybe he had a lawyer who called.
Right.
That's what he's upset about.
By the way, I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about any of this. Jackie leaving has been absolutely fine. I'm much happier now. I couldn't take the constant problems and the constant out back in the back office getting everyone charged up.
And
it's
all
fine.
of a sudden, he's professional.
Right. Oh, he's the most professional.
You missed that one phone call.
What?
You told Tom, but you didn't tell Howard.
This is they got you coming and they got you going. Howard he said over and over and over, I want nothing to do with negotiations.
That's
I
true.
don't want to know money. I don't want to know negotiations. It's all up to everybody to do their own deal. Leave me out of it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I should call him and say, hey, not for like.
Meanwhile, every deal he did, he called me, and I had to step in and carry on. And he always tried to get me to agent for him. He's full of shit.
Would it be
as much as I wanted not to be involved with Jackie?
He always involved you.
He sucked me in every time.
Not a threatening phone call or a heads up. Tom said, Tom,
Jackie won't admit one thing. He left the show thinking Howard's going to fucking crumble without me.
Right, and he was waiting for 2 months for you to call and
beg
ask him to come back.
Right, and it was never going to happen. Jackie was an asset to the show. I had assessed the situation.
Well, he was an acid to the show?
An asset.
Asshole to the show?
No, he was an asset to the show, but at some point it became detrimental to the show. And that's it. He over-evaluated. He overvalued himself. That's all. He was valuable, but not not irreplaceable. That's the problem with Jackie.
Howard will absolutely know you're not going to be there. And then, they said that all of a sudden Howard says, "Where's Jackie today?" And Robin said, "Oh, he left you high and dry again." Yeah, you know how he is. He just,
well, when Fred...
They made it sound like I just didn't show up, and I would never do that much, and I didn't do it the time before, and I didn't do it the time. And there's still millions of fans that are angry at me for leaving Howard high and dry, which I didn't do. And
okay.
Of
That's
course
the
I
way
thought about
they tell it. When even just recently, about a year ago, Robin and
but how
Fred,
do you see it?
Robin and Fred get real emotional about it. Like, you fucked over the show. You left the show. You guys were a team. They really they take it personally. It seems like.
But how can they? I asked for more money and they said no.
I don't take it personally.
You're working at a business and you ask for a raise and they say no and you stop working there. It's not because you don't.
Explain that.
I don't take it personally.
Nobody does. It's just amazing to us that he's the only one that could leave for months at a time with
and
his
then
negotiations.
come back. Why come back?
Right. We were resentful that we had to sit there and hold ship. Don't forget, I have a way of operating. The budget that Jackie took up, I needed to spend it on someone else. At some point, I had to say, enough with this guy.
But remember the time he didn't show up, and then we were starting to get used to not work, and then all of a sudden he did show up?
Yeah.
It was like, well, what are you doing here now?
Yeah, now he's here.
You want us now?
I was never ungrateful. I didn't ask for more. You know the whole story.
Sure.
I didn't ask for a crazy amount of money. And then after a couple months, I said, you know what? I don't want this to break up. I'll take what the offer was. And they said, and it was too late.
2 months later, and 2 months of him finally realizing he wasn't getting more money. He got a huge offer, huge raise offer, which he doesn't think is huge, but go ask any guy on radio. By the way, has Jackie made anywhere near that kind of money since he left? No. I would love to compare his last year with us and all the years subsequent to that. Or whatever. All the years after that.
Subsequent would be.
Was that right? Yeah. Didn't sound right to me. Anyway, so I don't know. You want to hear more?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me go through the whole thing.
All right. Here we go.
And that's my fault, but that was only 2 months after I left. So
only 2 months.
Yeah, only 2 months.
What's 2 months?
He could have very easily, and now I'll get in trouble for this, but kept the Beatles together, But
the Beatles are together, dude.
At the time I was beat and I was tired, and I feel bad that I wound up off the show, but it was like, I rolled the dice. What the fuck? I rolled the dice, but all I did was ask for more money. They said no, and I left. That is not a crime.
No one thinks it is.
The coming back was the crime.
Yeah. Leave us alone. Stop using us. Go write for someone else if you can.
Right.
You talk about hurt. When I called Howard and Tom, and my lawyer called Tom.
His lawyer. That lawyer was the greatest. Lawyer was like, we're going to teach Mel Karmazin how to negotiate. And he was like, what? What are you doing?
Are they still teaching him, or is the lesson finished?
So which Beatle exactly was Jackie supposed to be? Because to me, he's feeling like Pete Best right now.
Yeah.
I think he thought he was...
or the guy who died.
Yeah, I think he thought he was Paul McCartney.
2 months when I had been off and said, listen, we'll take the offer that's on the table. I said, all right, we'll consider it.
Maybe he should have looked at it not as the Beatles, where everyone was sort of equal. Maybe he should have looked at it more like...
Well, he was like...
Saturday Night Live, where a bunch of people write.
What was one of those guys who joined the Rolling Stone and then would leave the Rolling Stones?
Yeah.
Because the Rolling Stones were the Rolling Stones, and then every once in a while they'd hire some guy.
Right. Yeah, like when you're saying when Brian Jones died in the pool.
Yeah.
They brought in a different guy.
Yeah, Mick Taylor.
Yeah, Mick Taylor. And then Mick Taylor left, and...
They brought in Ron Wood.
Right.
Get back to you. I really thought they'd at least call back and say, thanks, but no thanks. And
how many? They called 900 times. It was over.
No, they had a period of negotiation. The period ended. Jackie left, and that was that.
Yeah, how long can it go on? How long can you negotiate? What is this? What is he, a labor union?
They never called
You're
back.
waiting for the call still?
Which is kind of rude. Maybe I didn't deserve it, but, who knows?
Oh my! There were 20 million calls exchanged, and then finally it was just all right.
You didn't listen when they said this is it. It's not their fault.
It's real simple. Tom came to me and said, I've told Jackie that's it. He goes, do you agree? I go, absolutely. He told me the offer. I said, it sounds fantastic. It sounds like you're being very generous. You're certainly not cheaping out on the guy. I think he thinks he's me. And, I'm the star of the show. He's a writer on the show. And that's it. And Tom said to me, this is the final offer. We're not prepared to offer him anymore. If you want to pay him, go ahead. I go, no, this is more than enough. He's making a ton of dough. And that's it. We can't negotiate. We're going to go start looking for someone else.
And nobody wanted to go through this again.
No, that was the point. But he doesn't get it. He still thinks no one called him back. They told him final offer, but he was used to they've said that before.
Right.
When I first started the show, Howard said, hey, I got great news for you.
Oh, this is great.
Oh, boy. Here we go. What is he going to say now?
This is totally
a new
wrong.
wrinkle.
This is Jackie talking about how we are all represented by Don Buchwald, but he wasn't.
Truck to tail.
Right. I'll give you the truth about what really went down, but here's Jackie's version. Hey, Gary.
I want to back you up on this one because this one made me really.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This got you upset.
Yeah, this got me nuts.
And it's got nothing to do with me. I just happened to be there for a conversation Howard had.
When I first started the show, Howard said, hey, I got great news for you. Don's going to represent you if you want him.
I never said to him, I've got great news for you. Here's the truth. Then you can listen to this. Jackie was being represented by his wife. Things were going horribly. Mel wanted nothing to do with Jackie. He said to me, I don't want anything to do with this guy and his wife.
He was supposed to talk to his wife?
That's how bad things were.
Uh-huh. And he was talking to his wife.
I don't know who he was talking to, but I don't know. Things were just going wrong, and the company was getting rubbed the wrong way by Jackie.
Uh-huh.
Even when people want more money, I guess there's a certain way of doing things. I suggested to Jackie maybe not use his wife as an agent. And he said, no, my wife's not my agent, my manager. I said, look, you got to get somebody. If you would like, I'll call Don Buchwald. If you'd like that. I never said, hey, good news.
Right.
No, I didn't care who represented Jackie. As long as he got somebody
who wouldn't screw up things for him.
Who wouldn't make management go, we want this guy out. Like, they were like, listen.
Because there was a general attitude from that negotiation on.
They didn't like Jackie.
That nobody wanted Jackie around.
Yeah. And I'm not even blaming his wife, Nancy, because you know what? Now that I think about it.
Manager.
No, by the way, I don't think she was talking to Mel.
She wasn't. She wasn't.
What was happening was, if I remember correctly, and I forget how it happened, but maybe Jackie and Mel were dealing directly with each other.
Uh-huh.
But Mel was kind of like, and Tom and everyone, not just Mel, everyone. Just came to me privately and said, look, we don't like this guy.
Right.
We think he's bad news. I said, he's a nice guy. They go, for whatever reason, he's coming off horribly. Just as a human being. I said, okay. So I went to Jackie. I said, maybe it shouldn't be you doing things.
Right.
Maybe you should get somebody. I said, if you want, I'll call Don Buchwald. I need to. Good news, Jackie. By the way, Don was not looking to represent Jackie. Don's business is done just fine without Jackie. There's not a whole lot of money in the Jackie business for Don.
There really is, by the way, in any negotiation, when the person goes in to represent themselves, it just never works because you need somebody to be a buffer.
Right.
Because you can't say, well, when you say, listen, this is what I'm worth, people look at you a different way. So you just suggested to Jackie, in general, maybe it's not the best idea you represent yourself.
That's what it was. It wasn't his wife.
Well, she was representing him in the comedy circuit.
Which was fine. And I didn't care, but I just said to him, maybe you need to get advice from a professional.
But I know you said, get anybody if you'd like, because I was there. If you'd like, I would introduce you to Don.
You were there in the room.
And introduce is not, I can get Don to represent you.
No, but Jackie's saying that Howard said, good news, Don's going to represent you. As if you were pushing it. Yeah. And Jackie always had this...
conspiracy theory
of collusion.
Here you go. Listen to this.
And I said no, because it didn't make sense to me that if they're going to pay Howard, and then they're going to pay Robin, and they're going to pay Fred, so I'm going to be the fourth bird in line for a worm. It seems like, how could you
Yeah, but see, that
it didn't seem.
I look at you
comfortable.
the way you did it. I look at you as fourth bird in the line. Whereas if you'd have been with Team Don, it would have been Howard and then the three of you. Like I always wondered why you weren't just part of that, so you didn't have to do your own negotiating. Were you worried he wouldn't take care of you the way you could yourself?
It just didn't. It seemed weird. He'd be negotiating with himself.
Huh?
Don, but it just didn't. My cousin.
How would Don be negotiating by?
You know what I love?
I know why.
The first
I know.
statement, wait a minute. The first statement is, I didn't think.
Yeah.
Now, all of his thoughts have led to this.
Yeah, all of his thoughts led to ultimately him being out of work.
And he's still standing by them.
Yeah, he loves it. He doesn't do any self-examination.
I know the answer,
Almost a pro ball player, and he said that an agent in baseball can't represent more than one agent, or more than one player on a team.
Have you ever heard of that before? That's bullshit.
No.
There are agents who represent many.
There's some agents who have almost the entire league locked up.
Scott Boras has everybody.
Baseball, an agent can't represent more than Well, first of all, this isn't baseball. Baseball is like a monopoly. This is the real world.
Jackie's taking advice from a guy who almost got into baseball.
Yeah, right. My cousin. Did you hear what he said?
It was his cousin who told him this?
Wait, you got to hear this. My cousin. He's always getting advice from someone. My cousin almost got into baseball.
He's like.
He said. Yeah,
he's like Richard's dad.
You can't say, hey, you can have mud on shortstop. More than one agent. Also pro. Don, but it just didn't. My cousin was almost a pro ball player, and he
almost.
Never got there.
Look where he gets advice.
But he knows.
He gets advice from his cousin, from his uncle, never from a professional.
Yeah, none of these people have been in show business.
And by the way, his cousin's wrong. Maybe that's why he almost got into baseball.
He said that an agent in baseball can't represent more than one agent.
Maybe you should have called the baseball player and found out if that was true.
More than one player on a team. Because you can't say, hey, you can have mud on shortstop, but you got to take Jackie on first base. It's like...
Okay, give Howard the money we need, but you could take it out of Jackie's pocket.
Exactly. Exactly.
Jackie's got a pocket.
Jackie has no pocket.
What I was going to say is that part of the conspiracy theory, which I'd heard several times, when we get drunk and I'd be Jackie'd be sitting there and John would be sitting there and I'd be sitting there, was that somehow I got to remember this correctly. I want to get it right. That somehow a big pot of money was given to Don to distribute any way he wanted to everybody, so that if he were part of Team Don, you were going to get the biggest part of the pot, and then everybody else was going to get a little bit less.
And he'd be the fourth to dip into
So
the pot.
let's say that's true. Let's say that's true, which it's not, because Don would go in and negotiate. But forget that. I don't care who represents him. What do I give a shit? Just get someone professional.
It doesn't mean
so it's
anything
not you.
to you. You're not getting any money out of the deal.
No. So I was like, Jackie, just get someone other than yourself. I remember he used to walk in by himself and rub everyone the wrong way.
And he didn't realize that he had done that.
Right. An agent has a certain finesse where he's not going to sit there and, Jackie could have played the good guy while the agent was the bad guy.
Well, the problem was Jackie never got the right representation anyway.
Oh, here's a guy who says enough talking about Jackie. We've heard it. Okay. Maybe he's right. I love listening.
It means a lot to us.
We enjoy it.
Too much Jackie talk. Okay, fine. You want to hear how Jackie wasn't invited to my wedding? You haven't heard that before.
Oh, come on.
All right, wait.
Let's hear
Whether
this.
they rag at me or whatever they do, there is something going on. If it's 10 years, it's not a month ago. It's not 3 years ago. It's 10 years ago. That's a long time. And like you say, from the response, from the feedback I get from people, it's as fresh as it happened yesterday.
He does. He still is like emotional, and it comes up again and again. And
but he can't be mad at me because I didn't do. And Dominic Barber called me up and said, I don't understand, Howard. You didn't do anything wrong.
Is it some sort of grudge? Like, what is he just trying to prove that he's right and you're wrong?
I don't know. People say, I don't care, but so many people say, how could you be friends with a guy for 18 years and work side by side with him for 15 years, being half of his brain and not be invited to his wedding?
He was half
You
of my
were
brain.
half of his.
Yeah.
Oh, you never told me he was half of your brain.
Well, that's the other Jackie thing. What really drove him, he didn't feel he got any credit. I don't know. And he was constantly announcing which jokes he wrote. And like, first of all, you watch the Academy Awards when Billy Crystal would come out or something. He doesn't stop after each joke and go, by the way, the writer of that joke was. That's what Jackie wanted. Like if Jackie thought up something, he wanted full credit on the air. That was what the laugh was. Ah! You know, it was crazy.
He was half your brain.
Half my brain. So that means I only own half of my mind when Jackie's in the room.
How did you do this all without him for so many
I
years?
don't know. Maybe he should realize he's a writer on a show. He's not half my brain.
The other thing about him, and that's why I made the Rolling Stone analogy, Jackie wasn't here at the beginning. He didn't meet you and create a show.
Well, in his mind, he rewrote history. He made me successful.
You were already doing this.
I know.
And I said, listen, I got no problem with that, but I don't know if that was just, like, of course you wouldn't be invited, but at some point, all bets should be off when it comes to a funeral or,
Jackie's nuts.
So he expected to be invited to the wedding?
I hadn't socialized with Jackie in 15 years. He doesn't know Beth at all. I hadn't seen him, I don't know. I mean, I'm not friendly with Jackie. I like Jackie a lot. We were good friends when he worked here, and I would hang out with him. But after he left, we didn't party.
I'm trying to think of anybody who would be equivalent to Jackie who was there.
No. I mean, I don't hang out with Jackie. I don't socialize with Jackie. Quite frankly, I don't socialize with a lot of people, but I'd see him at work.
No, I'm just someone you just never talk to again for a certain amount of time, and then you said, oh, come to my wedding.
Why would I do that?
That sounds reasonable to me.
Well, I guess if he's half my brain, he's half married to Beth.
What, did you turn the lights out on that half? It doesn't even speak to you anymore?
Unbelievable. Anyway, so he was on the...
Half your brain. I mean, the things that... See, those are the things that upset me.
Then he had this other whole rap about...
Whenever he tries to take undue credit...
Oh, he never got enough.
This...
Never got enough.
It upset me.
Yeah.
Because to say he's half your brain...
And I guess you, Fred, and Gary are on the other half.
But you have a whole brain.
Right.
You never needed another part.
No, he felt he was half of my brain.
Well, how the hell are we limping along on half a brain?
If we had him back, I'd have my whole brain back.
Thank God.
He's half my brain tumor.
That's right. He's cancer.
Yeah. He's a character. Oh, I mean, it's so great. Then he goes into a rant about Benji being brought in and he wasn't told. And
I've heard him talk about this before, like how, he hated Benji being like over his shoulder.
Yeah.
During one of the best of things, you were interviewed, and you talked about how Benji came in, and I don't know if "threaten's" the right word, but you were hurt or something that they had somebody doing your same
you know what
job
happened?
right
and
next
nothing
to
to
you.
do with Benji, because the way that I got to do anything is, this is show business or whatever business. You do what you want to do, and the kid wanted to write, but they just told me one day, hey, Benji's going to sit in with you, and. It's like, imagine if Robin's sitting there and there was somebody sitting next to Robin and say, no, do this.
Bad analogy, dude. On shows, there's many writers, but there's not multiple news people coming in. And I mean, who did he think he was? He's a writer on the show. Fred's a writer on the show. And now Benji's a writer on the show.
Yeah, Fred had to accept that Jackie was there.
Jackie decided that I had enough writing. I didn't need any more.
Once you got him, you didn't need any more.
No.
Well, he was the traffic cop.
News story instead. No, do this. And of course, every news story they're going to give her is going to be great. But she already had it covered. Like I already had the writing covered, and between me and Fred, we had it covered.
He had the writing covered.
Oh my God!
Maybe I didn't think you had the writing covered. My half a brain.
No, see, half your brain knew.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't think it was enough. What do you care?
Your two sides of your brain are fighting with each other.
It was just weird that I'm sitting there. It's like it's none of my business. Not my show, of course. If Howard wants another writer...
But you're half my brain. It sounds like you are. It is your show.
He had it covered.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not my say, but it was a little odd.
But wasn't Fred already doing that as well?
Yeah. So picture this. I'm sitting there, and Howard's talking, and he says something. I think it's something funny for him to say. And I write... As I'm writing it down, now I got to read... I write it, but I got to read what...
Wow. Wow, sorry, your job's so
you
hard.
have to work. It's a job, and you have to work.
It's too much.
I wrote, then I'm reading what Benji wrote and decide which, so sometimes I just write something and put it up, and I wouldn't, Yeah, it was too much. It was, if somebody hands you 3 cupcakes, you can only eat 1. You know what I mean? It's like it was too much. Very often, what Benji wrote was so funny and it was great, but it was overkill. I thought it was overkill.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
It was overkill for him.
It was too funny.
Too funny. Too much fun. Anyway, the Jackie saga on Mutt Superfan Roundtable.
Wow.
And I don't know. Then there was a whole thing about Jackie, Nancy, the apology to Nancy. It was very entertaining, quite frankly, but it got me really worked up because it's upsetting me.
I'm fascinated by the workings of his mind.
It upsets me that he just is his own worst enemy. He'd still be sitting here if he just kind of mellowed out, figured out what was going on, and kind of saw his position in the right way. I said to him, listen, you're not the show, but you're an important part of the show, and you're being compensated. You got a great life. You're going to make a ton of dough for the next 5 years. Just sign up.
No, he never enjoyed this for a moment.
Never.
It was a burden. It wasn't enough. He didn't get the acknowledgement he needed. So it's better that he's away.
Right. Oh, it's so silly. Mutt got everyone going, though. He's good, Mutt. I like that show. Superfan Roundtable. Still think it's one of the best shows on the channel.
Well, they should have Jackie every week.
Yeah, it's great. Always great. And then his marriage to Nancy because the bathtub incident with Jessica Hahn.
Oh, that ruined the marriage?
Well, no, they were supposed to go on vacation. Nancy said no because of what happened with Jessica Hahn.
Oh, they didn't make a vacation because of that?
Yeah.
My wife had absolutely nothing to do with what I said that day. We went to I called up our marriage therapist who was trying to save our marriage 10 minutes after we got married. And she said, if you want to save your marriage, we were supposed to leave the next day to go to Europe. Her sister was getting married in France, and we're going to Venice. We're going to have the greatest vacation in the world. And she said, I ain't going no fucking Europe. I ain't going to. And Emily was our marriage counselor, and she said, Jackie, do whatever you can do to get her on that plane. And 100 miles into the trip, this will all melt away. So what can I do? And she was so pissed. I said, you know what? I'm just going to. I figured what we did was nothing. But Howard made it sound like there was a full-scale orgy went on in that bit. We're in the bathtub 10 seconds, right? But, his genius is to take something and make them, So she didn't hear it. So she heard the version of 20 of her friends.
Relaying the message.
So not only did Howard pile it on, then they piled it. So, I had both thumbs up, Jessica Hahn's asshole, So she was so mad. So I figured the right thing to do is if the word got around to her about that, if I go in and apologize, maybe there's cocksucking friend.
I like that he had to apologize on the air. Yeah, So, quite frankly, just to make it clear, Nancy was not the problem negotiating with Mel and Tom.
I don't know anything.
That was, it was. Now that I think about it, it was Jackie going in himself.
I just remember that he was not liked after the very first negotiation.
Yeah, that I remember. It went really, and I just said to him, it might be a good idea if you didn't do this yourself because they're getting the wrong impression of you. They don't like you. He's like, fuck everyone, I don't care. And I was like, it's not good to have management feel that way. You might need professional representation. Would you like me to call my agent? That was all. I didn't even know if my agent would represent him, quite frankly. Because one thing I know about Don, if he doesn't like someone, he won't represent him. Because he doesn't want to.
And if he can't talk to a person,
right,
he's not going to represent him.
Yeah, you don't want the aggravation. All right, Bobo, you're up.
Hey, how you doing, Howard?
Yes.
Let me weigh in on this. First of all, wouldn't you want to do what it takes to negotiate within the means of the show to keep everybody working together?
Well, I did say to him, you ought to check around in the industry and see what people are making. And
yeah, I mean, like you said, flying on a private jet, that just doesn't happen in the radio world.
It doesn't.
Okay,
right.
And let me ask you something else, too. You think because he branded himself, that's the key word, as head writer, you think it went to his head?
Well, that was the other thing, too. He insisted on a title, head writer. And like, the only other writer was Fred.
And then when Benji came along, he complained that there was too much to do being the head writer.
He didn't want to be, so I said, let Fred be the head writer. And even I said to Fred, I go, do you mind if Jackie calls himself head writer? Fred was like, no, if it keeps the show together, why not? But, I mean, quite frankly, Fred is, if not as much responsible for the success of the show as any one of us. I mean, Fred was gracious about it. He goes, listen, I don't care about a title. Well, he said, I don't care about a title. I don't even know what he's carrying on. But if he wants to be a head writer, fine.
That's great.
I think that Fred's a quiet guy.
Right.
And he's not much for rocking the boat. But I think that he was probably a little hurt by it, and he just didn't want to make waves.
Not hurt, annoyed.
Right.
Yeah. But Fred's like, hey, I'm a fucking writer.
Well, it was just so silly. I mean, how do you have a head writer?
It's two people.
If anything, I'm the head writer.
That's what I would
exactly
always
the-
say.
Yeah.
You are the head writer, and Jackie hands you what everybody else writes.
All right.
That's really a bold move to be working with one other person.
But that's Jackie.
And saying, I want to be the head writer.
And
But
think
that's-
nothing of
but
it.
that's why-
and he just arrived.
The title head writer.
And then when Benji
was
wanted
irrelevant.
to come in, which would make it a bigger position, he rejected it.
Right, I was gonna say,
But being head writer is irrelevant on a show like this because it's only two guys sitting here basically, and but it was really important to him. He just had a chip on his shoulder that he felt absolutely
it was
negated as a human being if he didn't have
a
this
title.
And he wanted everyone to know that he was better than, I guess, Fred. I don't know.
I think that, in his mind, he was Larry David,
Right.
your Jerry
no,
Seinfeld.
he wanted to be like Dick Van Dyke, and Fred was like Maury Amsterdam. That's how
But
he
I'm
was.
just saying, in terms of what Jackie actually thought he was Larry David.
But here's the weird move about the head writer thing, too, Howard. That was a negotiation with the Channel 9 show for Jackie to get the physical credit when the credits rolled.
Yeah, because...
And then he just moved it over here, but
Yeah.
we never said he was a head writer here.
He wanted Hollywood to recognize that he was head writer because he was going to be punching up scripts.
But there was no credit on the radio show
Right.
that said you were head writer. He just took it from the TV show and moved it over.
It was
But did
fine.
he ever sit down with Fred and ask him about that?
No, listen, we didn't care because it was funny to us. I mean, the guy wanted to be head writer on our show. We were like, well, who else is here writing?
Yeah, I mean, since it really doesn't mean anything, go ahead and call him that.
I was like confused too because when we'd be back in my office writing stuff, I'd go, gee, am I supposed to check in with Jackie to make sure that to the head writer? I don't know. What do I do? All right, Bobo, thank you. There it is. Bobo needs to get on the air every day. Now he feels good.
He can have a good day. He can sit and watch the water and be happy.
Yes. Here's Jimmy who says we talk enough about Jackie. I'm sorry, we got sucked in, Jimmy. It's
Howard,
Jimmy, it's Mutt's fault. He had him on Superfan Roundtable. It's not our
We
fault.
had tape.
Howard, you're not going to find a bigger super fan than me. I've been following you for 20-plus years. I tape the show every day,
Thank
blah,
you.
blah, blah. Now, but I want to tell you something about Jackie. 2 weeks after that whole debacle when he left, right before he was going to leave the final time, I emailed him. And what wound up happening was I said to him, Jackie, what the fuck are you thinking? I said something to that effect. And I said, you're on the best radio show, the most greatest marketing tool for your career. What are you thinking walking away from that show? And I couldn't believe it. He sent his response simply was, great email. And he never sent anything after that, which was, you don't know what the hell's going on in this guy's mind.
I thought you didn't want to talk about Jackie. You're talking about him more than I am.
No. Here's the thing. My wife, she said, we're spending all this money on how. That's my
Thank you.
wife. All right. My wife she said, why is he talking about this again? Frankly, I think it's awesome.
Oh, you see, because of you, I rushed through it.
No. I don't want you to rush it. I think it's awesome, and it's an honor to talk to you. We never call in, and I just didn't. All right.
For all the years. Thank you, Howard. We love you.
That's my wife. I'm sorry.
Is she hot?
Yeah, she is. She's very good looking.
Very nice.
We're married 12 years. But we've been listening to you. I grew up.
Thank you. All right, let's start up the Jackie conversation again. I thought Jimmy. I saw Jimmy's call said stop talking about Jackie. And I was like, oh fuck.
Well, fire under my ass. She said, why is he talking about that again?
Right.
Frankly, I think it's awesome whenever you talk about it. Can I ask you a question though?
Yes.
First of all, I'm a big Artie fan as well. Do you guys, since Jackie left, I mean, I thought the show really changed, and then when Artie came in, now, do you guys find that it's, with nobody sitting in that chair, that it's a little harder for you to do your thing?
No. I like it. I like just this group that we have now. It's very copacetic, so to speak, and I don't know. I just feel real good about being here, and I don't know. I guess I don't feel like we need anybody. But it could happen again that we get somebody else in here.
But it's not hard to do the job.
No, the job's fun. It's a nice groove. You get to sit here and talk and do some funny stuff.
I think the interplay between you and Robin is a lot more into it since Artie left, and we love.
Absolutely, Artie. I love Artie too.
Well, yeah, we've seen Artie so many times, at his comedy shows up here in Boston, but it's just, it's a totally different vibe. And by the way, Robin, I saw you at Fenway Park when you were in that pedicab.
All right, Jimmy, I got to go. It's enough.
What?
You were in the pedicab. I remember that one. Jimmy, thank you, though, and thank your wife. Very nice words. Anyway, Jackie was on Mutt's show. And in it, I was trying to push Don Buchwald on him. Tom Chisano, he's still waiting for Tom's call.
Nobody called.
Nobody called him. Well, just to get, let's set this straight once and for all. Here is my version. They called him and said it's a final offer. It had gone on and on and on. And then he thought it was still going on. Like, in other words,
he decided he was going to not come in.
Right.
And they said, well, that'll be it.
Yeah. 2 months later, Jackie woke up and realized he had no job and said, okay, I'll take my job back. And we said, there's no job. I think he was waiting for a final offer. He decided not to sign with Don Buchwald because in baseball, his cousin almost got into baseball and heard that agents can't represent more than one player on a team. That was the advice he got from his cousin, who's almost a baseball player. He was almost a baseball player.
And just, I love how with authority he says he took the advice of a cousin who was almost in baseball.
He sounds
like,
almost
that's reasonable.
He sounds proud of that. Like, maybe check that out.
Why are you talking to that cousin?
And on top of everything we learned from Mutt's show, he was upset that he was invited to my wedding, which is even more delusional.
That's a surprise because I don't think that had ever been brought up before.
I make a Christmas party every year. I've invited Jackie because he works on the channels.
And then he's incredibly uncomfortable.
I know
to be around the whole time he's there.
And then I see him at the Christmas party. He goes, "Thank you for inviting me. I thought you didn't even want me. I can't even believe I'm invited." I go, "You work on the channels. Of course you're invited. I didn't think you wanted me the whole time." I go, "Well, obviously I want you. You're here." Like it was a mistake that I invited him.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you invited me. I didn't think you were going to invite me.
Robin, I ever tell you about the time I got a stock tip from my cousin who works at an auto body shop, but he was almost a stockbroker? I mean, it's crazy. He was almost a stockbroker. I'm not kidding. He almost took the test. There was a lot of people giving Jackie advice who shouldn't have been.
Right.
The only person he should have listened to was me. He would have done very well in life. He would have done exceptionally well if he took my advice. I wasn't looking to screw him, and I think he always had this attitude that I was looking to screw him. Somehow I was behind the machinations of screwing Jackie.
Well, why would you do that?
I was only trying to make his life better. I said, I begged him. I said, "Jackie, you've got a great life. Why would you let this explode?" "Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. You'll pay. I'll leave the show. Your whole career will go away."
But, Howard, the other thing
if he was real honest, he'd admit.
Crazy about this is that he had left many times before.
Yep.
And nothing happened.
Right.
So why did he think that he was going to go on to some career?
I don't know. He always did. He even once said to me, I believe, and I don't know if I have it exactly right, but it was that, if I wasn't here, my career would have been huge.
Right.
like he sacrificed a lot. Like he could have been his own Jackie the Joke Man Martling without me, and he basically was living under my shadow. And if he had just gone off on his own, who knows what would happen.
Somehow or other, people weren't hiring him because he was on this show.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. They won't let me on the roast. I go, "Why is that?" "Well, honestly, I think it's because I work here."
Yeah.
You mean you're so funny, but they're keeping you off the roast because you work? I would think putting you on the roast would be advantageous if you're so funny. And working here, why would comedians be against you if you work here? "Well, I think some people at the Friars Club, you made fun of them. And they're going to keep me off the dais. Because..." And I'd sit there and I'd roll my eyes because I go, "You know what? He's not that funny on the fucking roast. That's why they're not having him on." We did a roast on Channel 9. He accused me of fixing the audience not to laugh at him.
Yeah, for years. I don't think he ever believed that we didn't.
Yeah. I didn't get one laugh. I know what you did. Why don't you admit it?
You all got together and you told everybody not to laugh.
I thought I was losing my mind with this guy. This is what I had to deal with. Came back and was like all upset. I know what you did. What Gary got laughs. Everyone there got laughs. Richard Simmons got laughs. I mean, everyone. He got up. It was crickets. And he's the professional comedian.
Oh my goodness!
So
That was one of the greatest episodes of a comedian dying on stage ever.
And he goes, I know what you did. You sabotaged my performance. You made it so the audience wouldn't laugh.
Well, he was devastated that day, but then he came back in on Monday and he said, all right, you can admit it. We were like, admit what?
Yeah, I mean, that's how he got through it. I was Satan. I was always plotting against him. I go, what are you saying, Jackie? I mean, I didn't get one laugh. I know you rigged the audience. I said, I don't know how to tell you I didn't do anything. No, I know what you did.
You could go ahead and tell me.
And the funny part would be letting me in on the joke.
Wow.
Oh, my God. I had it. I had it.
But there were other times that he had decided to leave and he would send out whatever that packet was.
Yeah.
He would send to
get other jobs.
People he had met on the show.
Right. He would send to Andrew Dice Clay or Sam Kinison a package saying he's now ready to write for them.
Right.
And then
he's going to be available.
And then, I don't know, one of them called me Sam or Dice and go, hey, well, what is this? We got this package from Jackie. I go, what package? They go, well, he says he's ready to write for us. I go, it's fine with me. I don't care who he writes for.
Go nuts.
Go write. I just wanted you to know.
And then he had the great line that, well, Jackie, what are you going to do? When we would talk to him about this on the, I could go punch up scripts.
Where? Who's looking for him to punch up a script? Well, I'll be like Babaloo Mandel. He locked into that name.
Yeah.
I go, Babaloo Mandel writes his own movie scripts, and sometimes they call him in to write. You don't write movie scripts. Yeah, I could do it. But you've never written one. I know I could do it. Hey, Andrew.
Hello, Howard.
Hey, now.
Hey, now. I was just wondering, why did you keep giving Jackie so many chances? I mean, it looks like he drove you nuts.
You know what? I gave him a lot of chances because I'll tell you this. I genuinely thought he was super talented, and also I really liked the guy. I mean, there was something very simpatico between us, and I liked him. And I really listen. I've improved a lot in my mental health. Back then, I kind of thought, oh my God. He's his own self. He's his own worst enemy. I'm going to save him. I'm going to get through to him because I know what he's walking away from. It was almost like watching a guy commit suicide. And I'd say to myself, if you saw a guy committing suicide, would you jump in and try and help? Or would you let him kill himself? And ultimately, I'd always jump in and try and say, life's worth living.
Yeah, but Jackie was the kind of guy who would take you down with him.
Yeah, that's true. If he was drowning, he'd pull you down and go, you're going to. But I didn't see it at the time. I just saw it as like, you know what? He's a talented guy. He's a nice guy. I enjoy his vibe. We had many good times together. And I said, this guy, I really thought of him as a friend. And I said, I have a friend who's a little bit out of it. He doesn't understand that he's got something good going. And, my life, I've always learned if you have something good, really, before you let it go, make sure you understand what you're giving up. So I used to look at Jackie and I'd say, I'm going to get through to this guy. I'm going to put my brain in his head. He says he owned half my brain. I was going to give him half of my brain and go, Jackie, I'm a guy who's been in radio a long time. I've struggled with it. I know what it is to make a living in it. We've got a great situation. You've got Mel Karmazin who's willing to pay you. I mean, he had no idea what he had. I said, you don't know, an opportunity like this doesn't come along all the time. You've got something good. Go with it. Yeah, and it was like watching a guy. If I had been in the room with Artie when he tried to commit suicide, I would have tried to stop him.
Right.
And it's same with Jackie. He was committing suicide. I looked at him. I took him on that plane. I said, Jackie, you're eating steak. Jackie loved to eat.
Oh, my God. Did he love room service?
I said, you're on a plane. You got room service. You're in the best hotels.
Remember the time we walked in and he had ordered two of everything?
You're making a bunch of dough. I see over there you got a newspaper. You're checking your stocks. You're a gentleman. I said you're hanging around with a bunch of friends who want to suck you down with them. You're listening to too many people. Listen to me. I'm your friend. You got a good situation. You're just trying to get more for yourself. You're trying to trick me. I was the enemy. And I wanted to say to him, you're wrong. You don't understand what I'm saying. I care about you. No, you don't. You don't care about me, my cousin who almost got into baseball. No, he doesn't. Yeah.
You know, Jason came to me while you were talking, and you were talking about the roast before. And Jason said, I've always heard Howard talk about the roast, but I've never heard it. Was it that bad? So JD pulled it, and I listened to the first 4 jokes, and it's funny because I remember the day, and again, I don't think we're getting too far into it, but I remember the day, it was Jackie's big moment.
Right.
And
because he was a roast expert.
And I said to Jason, I remember that I went out, I got a book of bad, sticky jokes, and that was going to be my rap. I'm going to do bad, sticky jokes. And
you got laughs.
You got great laughs.
I got laughs because there was no expectation. Jackie did almost my exact jokes.
Right.
But Jackie was supposed to be the brilliant comedian. I don't even want to hear it, but I listened to it, and it is fucking funny. It's like Gary Page 2.
Is this where I supposedly rigged the audience?
Yes. But I'm telling you that, there were too many people there for us to tell for it to be that silent.
I know, it was a room full of people.
Howard, here's a man who takes credit for everything you say, yet the only thing funny about him is his belly button.
So true.
Please welcome the very
That was a good line. So far, so good.
Everything's
and
going
very
fine.
upset, Jackie the joke man Martling.
Yeah, let's see this. All right, this is his big moment.
I remember sitting there on that day thinking, if he bombs, my life's going to be hell.
But who would have expected him to bomb?
And I was sitting there going, I better try and interject a few things to make it funny.
Look, you can't get out of the chair. Let me see what happens now.
Shut up.
This is his big moment. Now it's your show.
This is Jackie Uncensored.
Yeah, we'll see how funny this is, Robin.
Jackie Uncensored and unedited.
All right, give him a chance.
Stereo morons right here.
Go ahead, all right.
8 years I've waited to call you Big Bird to your face, you gawky bastard.
All right, go ahead.
They're not going to laugh at one thing I say.
No, that's right.
We'll laugh when they laugh.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's the deal. Okay, Howard.
Go ahead, get out all your anger.
Howard Stern.
That's good.
You take away his looks, his body, his charm, and his personality, and what have you got? Howard Stern. Gary laughed at that.
No, Gary.
People say to me, Jackie, how can Howard act like such a jerk? It's simple, he's not acting. Oh, this
good. Now you realize.
I'm doing so much better than Henny, but at least he was old.
At least
Howard.
now you realize that you need me.
Write me a joke.
That's what you realize. You need me.
I absolutely got to have you.
Go ahead, continue with your act.
I admit that Howard does work hard. He had to search far and wide to find a producer whose face he could make fun of.
All right, anyway, it's painful. But I listen.
But you remember he walked off the show on Monday.
Yes.
That was another.
Why did he
because
walk
we
off?
would never admit.
We wouldn't admit that we rigged the audience.
And he walked
off?
off?
He said, I need a mental health day. Yeah, do you remember?
Yeah.
He goes, Howard, admit it. You go, I'm not going to admit it because it didn't happen. He was very upset, so he left.
He left the show.
He left the show.
Took a day.
Mental health day.
Good Lord.
And you put up with a lot of shit.
I did.
And you're sitting there and go, God, I put up with a lot of shit.
What about my mental health? It was such an elaborate thing that we rigged him first with bad jokes, then we rigged the audience.
Well, how could we do that? Because he did his own material.
We
so we
hypnotized
couldn't
him.
get in there.
I hypnotized him. He was the Manchurian comedian. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Well, anyway, Mutt did a good job. Yes, Andrew. You've asked your question. Thank you.
Jackie's very ungrateful. He should have been on his hands and knees thanking God that he was working for
Well,
her.
I didn't ask him for that.
There was no reason for that. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, I begged him. I said, you got no pressure on you.
It's just terribly ungrateful. Like, it's just abusing what you're given.
Yep. All right, Andrew, thank you. Well, it's a good lesson for all of us. You got something good, go with it.
Benji, do you realize that you're the thing that drove him over the edge?
What do you mean?
Jackie. Every time Jackie starts talking, it's like, and then they brought Benji in. Did you know you were such a potent force?
No.
You were going to get him out of his seat?
I didn't. I'm going to start doing interviews about that.
that's right. You're the Jackie killer.
Robin, this whole thing seems very cyclical. It's like every now and again he brings it up on his show, then Howard gets pissed off, then you get pissed off, and Fred and Gary, or just get annoyed by the way he remembers.
Well, it's just when you're listening to somebody, he always tells the story in a way that doesn't match the facts, and that's what's bothersome. You know, when he won't look at the facts the way they are, he can never learn from his mistakes. It was his job to keep his job, and he frittered it away. When he was leaving, he said, "I'm ready to go." And then 2 months later, he couldn't believe his job wasn't still there.
Gary brought up a good point that he believes it's more about ego than money. I mean, the amount of money he was holding out for wasn't like a...
Again, yeah, they weren't very far apart. You know, that's how negotiations go. You don't necessarily get everything you want, but you get close. And then you say, okay. And he had this crazy notion in his head that if he, you know, like a baby, I want it all, and if I can't have it all, I'm taking my ball and go home, and I'm going home. He didn't realize he didn't have the ball.
And at the end of it, you continue to work through your negotiations, as did Fred and Howard, but he thought he was above that.
Well, we would actually wrap up our negotiations before the end of a contract. Jackie liked playing out the string and then coming to some kind of agreement afterwards, and he'd always go on strike. And I would always say, well, where's his line? I don't see him out there picketing. He's just sleeping in. He's taking an extra vacation, and we keep his job waiting for him. And then after a week or two, he comes back refreshed and ready to go.
You never saw Jackie downstairs with one of those giant inflatable rats?
No, I wouldn't have crossed his picket line. Where was it?
Now, given all of this nonsense, there's a very small part of you still wish he was in that chair, cracking jokes and ripping on Gary and writing things.
Me?
Yeah.
No. In a word? No, I was ready for Jackie to go 5 years before he went. So, and
you know, a little known news, Robin was Jackie's lawyer. She sold him. I'm going to teach Mel how to negotiate.
No, I was tired of Jackie's antics. In fact, that there was one negotiation, I think it was one of those last ones, where I didn't talk to him 2 or 3 months after he returned because I was just sick of what he was doing. So I looked at the last go round and I said, oh, they're actually going to let him leave this time. And